Thank you for the breath I take. Breathing for each step 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 I take.
Alright guys, this is Brandon. I'm starting a little early because I'm trying to get a couple of things worked out, as you can probably tell by now. Okay, let's see if that's any better. Had a little bit of an echo there, trying to get that worked out. How about now? Does it seem like the echo is gone? Yes, I don't know if you guys heard that echo or not, but there was an echo going on. Echo or not, but there was an echo going on. I need to do a couple of other things, including grabbing myself some coffee, and I wanted to play some music in the beginning. I need to do a couple of other things, including grabbing myself some coffee, and I wanted to play some music in the beginning. I need to do a couple of other things, including... Okay, I see what's going on here. I see what's going on here, I believe. I have two different... I'm sorry, actually I have three different audio controls going on right now. I know this is completely unrelated, but basically the camera has its own audio input. My microphone has its own input, but it's also connected to the camera, so I have to turn one of those off. And otherwise it will double, right? But I also have desktop audio. Desktop audio is meant to capture the music. But the problem with that is that desktop audio is also capturing my microphone. So I've got three different inputs that are capturing the same microphone source. It's ridiculous. The desktop audio captures literally everything. But I think if I turn my mic off for now, I should be able to play the music for a few minutes without any echo. So I'll give it a try right now. So I'm going to try playing some music. If it works out okay, good. I'll get up and I'll go get some more hot water for my coffee, and I'll be back in just a minute. In just a minute. In just a minute.
Thank you for the breath I take.
In just a minute.
Breathing for the breath I take. Each step I make. Breathing for this moment holds a gift for I make. Breathing for this
Okay, well, I guess it just doesn't work, so I'm gonna have to play around with it some other time. I At least I made some progress. You know, maybe you've heard me say this before, but I have a very strong love-hate relationship with technology because it's very handy and pretty amazing when it's working, but it's so easy for it not to work. One little issue and then everything goes bonkers. But you know, if it's a manual control, right? If it's a manual control, then basically you can make a very strong switch, right? You can make a strong switch. It makes a strong connection. You can make strong connectors. You can make thick, strong wires. You know, you can make these things. You can tool them and manufacture them in a way that makes them last for decades and decades and decades, if not hundreds of years. So manual controls quite often are much more safe or much safer than electronic controls, and that's one of the reasons why I don't want a car that needs a computer screen, and a computer to run. I don't mind my car having a computer screen or digital devices and things like that, but if you have a car that heavily relies on that brain, and if any part of the brain has a quirk or an issue, then the whole car becomes useless. What good is that? That's stupid. I mean, that's stupid. These car companies designing their cars like that, like Tesla, for example. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter if I'm loaded and made of money. I'm just going to buy a Lamborghini. I'm going to buy a really nice car. I'm not going to go buy a Tesla, regardless of how much money. I mean, I know some of them are not expensive, but my point is, if I can buy a 15 or 20-year-old Ford F-150 or a Raptor. Raptors are awesome. If I could get an older Raptor or a brand new Cybertruck, I would never get a Cybertruck. And the reason is because it's so easy for those things to just completely shut down because of one little issue. And I think that's just stupid. I want something that's more manual that I can more easily repair and fix. Hey Mark, hey Alex, good to see you guys. Ready to finish the A series, says Mark. That's right. Alex says, what's up, Geaux Stros? Let's finish the A series with another W. Let's do that. Studio has all kinds of inputs. You are at 11. That's right. We like to crank it up to 11. On this channel, we only crank it up to 11. Speaking of 11, will the Astros get 11 runs today? I hope the Astros crank it up to 11. So let's see it. Let me type that in the chat. That's funny. Let's see. Astros crank up game to 11. Astros crank up the game to 11. Okay. Well, first pitch is due in about 10 minutes or so, and I still have a few things to do. So let me grab my hot water for my coffee. I'll be right back, guys. Any of you guys know if Starbucks has a Houston cup? I would imagine they do, right? If someone wants to send me one, then I would be more than happy to use it. Right now I'm still using my plastic cup that I got during Christmas. Now this one was here in Japan. I bought this in Japan. And it has a lid on it and a stopper on the cap. It's very cute, right? But it's a little out of season. I just don't have my cups out yet. I have some other cups in there, but I thought it'd be really cool to have a Houston cup, right? A Houston Starbucks cup. Let's see here. Let me quickly get some of these things going. I need to open my MLB game browser. A little behind. I had plenty of time this morning, but I had so many things to get started, to get done. I've been snacking on some walnuts. Had a couple of small spoons of peanut butter, but I'm not going to eat a full meal until after the game. After this game is over, I'm going to have a celebration meal. I'll cook up some eggs, maybe a nice omelet with spinach. All right. Check on the audio right quick. Make sure everything's all right. Yep, sounds good. Good to go. There we go. Should have my game highlight window properly set up. And it is. That's just a little test right there. Gotta close out some of these other things. Put that right there. I'm moving some things around on my screen right now, trying to get everything in proper order. You guys can probably see me moving around, right? Okay, that's in place. Oh, there's one important thing that I forgot. I need to do that. I need to get my API connected. It's not active right now. You need to type in JP node, JS node, is that right? JS node dot JP node dot JS, is that right? So node jp.js, is that right? Node.js.jp, is that right? Oh. Node proxy.js, is that right? I think I got it right finally. Yeah, so I was trying to remember. There is a I have to open my Windows PowerShell, which is basically like a command prompt, and I run this APA, this active API, it refreshes every 5 seconds. I keep forgetting the string, but I finally got it right. So should be good to go. Painting is at the plate now already. They are starting right on time. First pitch is ball 1. Second pitch to Pena on the way. He hits this one out into left center field pretty deep, all the way out to the wall. Whoa, barely caught by the center fielder, man. Man, that was pretty far out there. Twenty people in the live stream, only 8 likes so far. Let's jack that up. If you don't mind, hook me up on the likes. I would really appreciate that. Thanks a lot, guys. Next pitch on the way. That's Paredes at the plate swinging this. Here's the next pitch to Paredes. He fouls it off. 78-mile-per-hour slider. Smacked over to the first base side. 0-2 is the count. Jacob Lopez is on the mound today. Wow. Okay. Looks like Isak just got smacked by the ball. Into Isak's feet. Got him on that front foot. Wow. Bounced up in his helmet, too. Did you see that? How about that? It hit his foot and then knocked his helmet off. That's pretty crazy. So Paredes is on first base with one out after getting smacked in the foot. And that brings up the amazing, the incomparable Jose Altuve. First pitch from Lopez to Altuve is a little high and outside for ball 1. Hey Sergio, good to see you. And next pitch to Altuve is right in there, right on the top of the zone. 83-mile-per-hour changeup for strike 1. 1-1. Altuve has been bringing his batting average up on the road. He's now batting .214. Not good, but much better than it was. He fouls that one off. He's batting .333 at home. He was batting like .177 on the road. So he has brought that up substantially, actually. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch from, I keep wanting to say George Lopez on the way. Just a little outside. Man, that was close. Talk about a close take. 15 likes. Now that's better. We're getting close. Should be up to 20 real fast, right? Because you guys are awesome. I'm saying that unironically, unsarcastically, you guys are awesome. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off. Four-seam fastball. Looked like a nice, easy swing for Altuve on that one. Altuve. What's your favorite day of the week? Altuve. Altuve. Jose Altuve. It's my favorite day of the week. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. He hits that one in play. To the second baseman, looks like. Yep, he's taking it for out number 2. Pretty bright sun out there today. Altuve walks back to the dugout. Now that we have 2 outs, are we going to run the score up? We're going to get 7 runs in the first inning. League leaders are on the screen. Check that out. Astros are number 2. We are ahead of the Yankees now. I mean, technically tied, but we get the tiebreaker. Hey, look at that. Yainer Diaz rips the very first pitch in left field. That's going to move Paredes to second. First hit. So one hit by pitch, one hit, 2 outs. Cam Smith comes to the plate, batting fifth today. Yes, this broadcast is from space. It's from an old house on Mars. This is a Mars-style house. Here's the next pitch, the first one to Cam. That one's called a strike out there on the edge. Cam Smith is batting .346 with runners in scoring position. He swings and misses that one, strike two. The changeup low in the zone. Can you believe that Cam Smith right now is leading the team in batting average with runners in scoring position? 346, guys. 346. That's absolutely insane. Here's the pitch. Hey, strikes out. Three-pitch strikeout on Cam Smith leaves two guys on, so he had a great opportunity there to bring in some runs, and he was unable to convert. So Cam can't get it cranked up in the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first. One hit for the Stros, and nothing else to show for it except for a couple of stranded runners. And I want to put my chat where I can see it on the screen all the time. I want to see the chat on the screen. So I'm going to move this around. Give me just a moment. You're going to see some crazy stuff on the screen there, but it's no big deal. Just want to. I think I can move it up some more. Let me adjust that just a little more. Oh, maybe too much. Maybe too much. Try that. Okay. That might be okay. Not quite. I wonder if I can put it right there. That might work. That might work. I just have to move my runners on. Colton Gordon's on the mound today for the Astros. Okay, I think I've got it fixed. All right, I think it's all fixed now. Sorry about that, guys. Trying to move some things around on my screen. First pitch from Gordon is on the way. He's facing Lawrence Butler. A little outside for ball one. I'm just trying to get my layout on my screen where I can see the live chat at the same time as everything else. That actual first pitch was a strike. I thought that was way outside, but it was called a strike. The second pitch was a ball, so now it's 1-1. That's got to be a ball. Way off the plate with the Swiffer. Next pitch is hit opposite field right through the hole to Jeremy Pena's right. Lead-off hit by Lawrence Butler. I picked up some Pike Place roast coffee. A big bag of coffee at Costco. I'm about to make myself a first cup from this batch. Fresh cup. Here's the pitch. He shows bunt, pulls back. Just a little inside, ball one. Jacob Wilson is at the plate. The A's Smells good. The A's sporting the very bright yellow uniforms today. Here comes the next pitch. 2-4 inside. I think Caratini's catching today. Is it Caratini back there? No. Yeah. I was right. Okay. I thought that looked like Caratini back there. Two balls, no strikes to Jacob Wilson with a runner on first. Here is the toss from Gordon. That's hit into center field. Is it going to be playable? Myers has to dive for it, and he's got it. How about that catch? He throws it to second. I thought he caught it. I thought he caught it. Apparently he did not. Take a look at this. It came out of his glove, so he did catch it. It just came out. Okay, he did catch it, but it came out of his glove. He tried to get up really quickly and get it to second base, but Butler got there. Butler was able to get to second before Myers got the throw there. So we now have runners on first and second. That's going to be a hit for Jacob Wilson. He's got way too many hits, doesn't he? Shut him down. Brent Rooker comes to the plate. Two hits now for the A's in the first inning. First two batters. Strike one on that foul ball by Rooker. Come on, Gordon. We got us an old-timey jam going on right now. Here's the 0-1 pitch. No, he goes to second. Butler is back. We got the old-timey jam going on right now. Here comes the... No, he goes to second again. Back-to-back throws to second on Butler. Pretty interesting. Oh, I see, guys. I see what you're saying. Hang on a second. Let me check this. I've been so busy trying to get stuff sorted on screen, I didn't see you guys chat. Let me double check and make sure that this is all right now. Is this all good to go? Okay, cool. Now, let me go back to my... I'm sorry about that, guys. Like I said, I was trying to move so many things around on the screen. There were a lot of problems. I think I've mentioned it before, but real quick, here's an update. There's a sweeper in the bottom of the zone for a strikeout on Rooker. So we have one out. But I think I've mentioned it to you guys before, but there's a problem that whenever YouTube... Not YouTube, I'm sorry, not YouTube. Hang on just a second. Caratini just made a really great catch behind the plate for out number 2. Just so you guys know. Yeah, that ball was moving around. The wind was blowing it around, and Caratini was able to get it, stay with it. Out number 2. Anyway, Windows does automatic updates, and for some stupid reason, whenever it updates overnight, it messes up all of my audio. and I have to go back and try to figure out what it messed up and then fix everything. So that's why I was having an issue and didn't realize it. I'm sorry about that. But I didn't see it in the chat, guys, because my layout was also messed up and I was trying to get that fixed. Technical challenges, love-hate relationship with technology. Max Muncy's at the plate, just took ball 2. We'll get it worked out here in a second. Next pitch is on the way. 2-0 with runners on second and first. Outside. 3 balls and no strikes to Max Muncy. Why is this not showing? Man, everything on the screen is just getting funky and getting out of control. I keep having to fix everything. There we go. Good grief. 2-0, 3-0. First strike thrown to Muncy. 3-1 is the count. Good grief. Everything is completely out of whack. Thank you, Sergio. The echo's gone. Ball 4. Very, very close. It looks like that ball was actually in the zone, but it was not caught cleanly. Yeah, that was a strike. Umpire missed it. That was 100% in the zone, and the umpire called it a ball simply because Caratini dropped it. How do you like that? Mark says you went to 12. Apparently so. Apparently so. And I haven't even been able to make my coffee yet. Next batter is Nick Kurtz. First pitch way outside. Ball 1. Bases are loaded, guys, with 2 outs. We got an old-timey jam. A Gordon old-timey jam. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Woo! Just barely misses on the outside. Two balls, no strikes. Here comes the pitch to Kurtz. Nope, steps off. What's going to happen with the Gordon old-timey jam here in the first? Let's see. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Look at that. Right in the bottom of the zone, called a ball. Man, this umpire is really something else. It's like he's not calling a strike unless it's right in the dead center of the zone. Three balls and no strikes. He calls that one a strike. That one could have been called ball 4. This umpire is very inconsistent. I don't know who he is, but he is inconsistent. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Inside, fouled into the air. Caratini might have another opportunity, and he does. Thank goodness for Caratini. Oh my gosh. Victor Caratini with 2 really difficult foul ball catches to get Gordon out of the old-timey jam. The Gordon old-timey jam spread a little thick, but the Astros, thanks to Caratini, are able to eat it. Whew. Talk about a nail biter in the first inning, but he gets out of it. I hope that that's Gordon's worst inning. Oh my gosh, guys. Gordon was trying to get things worked out just like me. I swear, man. This is the reason why I have to get onto my stream. I have to open all of my software, get everything set up maybe an hour and a half before. I know that probably most of you, or maybe none of you, have ever done a live stream with this type of setup and software before. But The problem is that sometimes you have software updates and sometimes you have Windows updates, and you would think that a Windows update has nothing to do with your software, but actually it does. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But my visual layout, some of my links, my audio settings, whenever Windows has an update, it just makes all those things go out of whack, and I have to go back in and manually fix everything. I can't just get it to save the settings and stay there. I really don't know why that is. It's ridiculous. And sometimes I need over an hour to fix those things and make sure they're working. And then today I thought everything was working right, and it turns out it wasn't. But thanks to you guys letting me know that there was still a problem. It's kind of ironic because I was so busy trying to fix it, I didn't see you guys telling me that it wasn't fixed. Oh, man. What a day, huh? Christian Walker is at the plate with the 0-1 count. Here comes the next pitch. High and outside, ball one, 1-1. Walker still playing like Jose Abreu this year. Swing and a miss there. Speaking of which, 1-2. Batting just .216 for the year. Walker should be batting ninth. Next pitch is outside, way outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I really want to get into the live chat. Besides, I know you guys got to have a lot of messages on here saying that there's a problem with the audio. Check swing, but he went around, so that's strike 3. Walker strikes out, not surprised. He is a strikeout machine. If you're going to swing, swing, but don't do that. 1 down. Mr. Baseball comes to the plate. Jake Myers. 91 right in there. Strike 1. I got to start making my clips much shorter. As short as possible. That's hit. Out in the left field, line drive straight to the left fielder, out number 2. Myers heads back to the dugout. Number 6 goes down. That brings up the Batman, the defensive star of the first inning. He also had a really great, massive 3-run homer yesterday. He crushed it. Right-handed, I believe. He's batting right-handed again today. Against the lefty. Here comes the pitch. Just a little inside the outside edge. Strike 1. Well, Brendan, he got through it. You said he sucks today, but, you know, hey, it's a rough inning, but he didn't give up any runs. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. I agree with you, Jay. The umpire needs to download and update. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Way high. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Batman. Let me go back and take a look at everybody. Mark, Alex. Whoa, almost clipped him up and in a little bit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brendan, Sergio, Caesar, the dude from Digomix. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. That's going to be a strikeout. So 3 strikeouts for Jacob Lopez, and that's it for the Astros. Nothing doing in the second inning. They had a hit by pitch and a hit in the first, but nothing in the second. 3 up and 3 down. Let me go back to the live chat. Let's see. Also, who else is in the chat here? Jordan, welcome. All of you guys, Jay, All the guys that I just named, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I think all of you that are in the chat right now, with the exception of maybe one, are regular guys. Thank you so much for being here. And for those of you who listen in who don't typically chat or rarely chat, thank you for being here and thank you for listening in, because there are about 28, close to 30 people following the live stream right now. And a lot of you don't chat or can't chat. Maybe you're at work, or maybe you've got some other things going on. Or like, who was it? Which one of you guys were watching Fish Tank? Brendan, was that you? Which one of you was watching Shark Tank? Shark Tank. Did I say Fish Tank? Which one of you was watching Shark Tank while listening to the stream? That's pretty funny. The coffee. It is nice, no? It is very good coffee. Won't you come on in, have coffee with me? If you come to my villa, you can have coffee with me. We have coffee together. We break some bread, and maybe we break some dishes, huh? You like to break the dish, drink the wine and break the dish? Well, here we have coffee. We drink the coffee, break the dish. Most consecutive games allowing 4 runs or fewer. Right now, the Astros are tied with their 2022 mark. 16 games in a row allowing 4 runs or less. And this is the reason why the Astros have the best record in MLB this month so far. Gordon gives the first delivery to Urias for a strike. Starts off the inning the right way. Strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Little too far inside. Here comes the next pitch. Well, check swing. Did he go? Safe, they say. 2 balls and 1 strike. Brendan says, watching the movie Big tonight. The Tom Hanks movie Big? Or did they make a new one? Here's the next pitch. The 2-1. Fouls it off. Evens it up. Hey, old dog. Welcome in. You missed the wonderful audio that I had going earlier. It is what it is. Here's the 2-2. Fouled off. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes against Luis Urias. Colton Gordon got himself into one of those old-timey jams earlier in the first inning. Let's see if he has a better second inning. Hit high in the air. Should be playable for Jeremy Pena, and it is. Easily puts it away. Tosses it to Altuve. Altuve casually throws it around the horn. 1 away. Urias is retired. Willie McIver is due up next. Don't worry, guys. This is not MacGyver. This is McIver. The all-star voting they're talking about right now, which ends in a week. First pitch to McIver is on the way. High and outside, ball 1. The Tom Hanks movie on YouTube movie. Gotcha. It's a fun movie. 2 balls and no strikes. Jay Paul says, how does MLB YouTube know you're streaming too long? I don't know how they do it, but this is hit out into center field, way out there deep. Myers is back. That's gone. It's over the center field fence. That's crushed. Willie McIver. That's his first MLB home run. And it's dead center. Dead center field. There's no telling how far that is out there. Maybe 420 feet. 415. How far is it out there to dead center? 423 is what they said. 1-0. The homeless A's take the lead over the Stros in the second inning. Get it out of your system, Gordon. Get it out of your system. The first pitch to Denzel Clark is a ball. Second pitch on the way, right in the bottom of the zone for strike one. Jay, to answer your question, it's hard to say, but they somehow know, and then they tell what specific clips belong to them. This one's popped in the air to Christian Walker, who gets it easy, no problem. Soft pop. Gordon has 2 outs now in the inning. Clark goes down, and Lawrence Butler, top of the batting order, is due up for the A's. But, Jay, it's kind of weird because if I have clips that go beyond about 4 or 5 seconds, they start flagging them. And then after the stream is over, it will list all of the ones that belong to them. And my only choice to avoid a copyright claim, there's a difference between a strike and a claim. They claim it, and they allow me to keep it and use it. But the problem is, if I get monetized in the future, they will get money for that. I won't get any money for the entire video. They'll get whatever money I make on the video from ads or whatever, it will go to MLB. Well, screw them. You know, that's not fair. If I'm just using very short clips, and I'm also giving them, you know, a lot of attention and support. Next pitch on the way. Bunted foul. Lawrence Butler trying to bunt to get on. But now the count is 1-2. But basically, I have to go back and I have to trim out those segments in order to remove the trademark claim or the copyright claim. But they break it down from this second to this second, or this minute to this minute. Next pitch is a little outside. Check swing, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs on Lawrence Butler. Here's the pitch. Way outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, that's what I don't understand. You know, Major League Baseball has had to do a lot of things to keep the game interesting and keep people interested, keep the viewership up. This is hit deep. It's going to be gone. Another home run. Butler puts it up into the grass into right field on a 3-2 count. 2 solo home runs in this inning from Gordon. Astros are down 2-0. Wow. Absolutely amazing. Butler showboating all the way around the bases. He stopped on third base. He stopped before he got to home. He was showboating the whole time. The total opposite of Jose Altuve. And that brings up Jacob Wilson. Low and inside, ball 1. What in the world is going on? Gordon, I gave you 3 runs today. You've already used up 2 of them. Here's the pitch. Wilson hits that hard to left field, but luckily right at Dubon. He doesn't have to move to get it. 2-0, the A's in the second inning. So the Astros are going to have to score more than a few runs in order to get this game in the bag, but I expect them to do that. No big deal. No big deal. They can do it. They can do it. They have Altuve listed for second base on the All-Star ballot, says Old Dog. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, he's been playing between second and left, but I guess because of his historical position, maybe that's the reason why they have him listed there. I don't know. But Jay, you said, yeah, seems like helping MLB. I really wanted to say that because if you think about it, over the past, I would say 20 years or so, a lot of other sports and a lot of other things have been getting people's attention. And so MLB has had to change their rules, speed the game up, try to do gimmicks and all sorts of things to get people to stay engaged and interested in the games. We all know that traditionally the basic old style of American baseball. The reason I say American baseball is because it's a very different experience when you go to watch a game in Japan or Korea or Taiwan. It's a completely different environment, completely different experience. And many fans have told me in Japan specifically that if their team goes to the championship and wins, they're surprised. They don't even know that their team is good enough to do that. They're just going to the games and dressing up in all the gear and stuff and bringing all the stuff and the playing all the music and singing all the songs to have a fun, good time and to support their local team. But they have no idea how good the team is, so when they win, they're surprised. They've told me this. It's completely different, a completely different culture than in America. But in the U.S., the crowds are so quiet sometimes, right, for a really long time, especially if their team is not doing anything. Dubon is at the plate, fouls off the first pitch. Here's the 0-1. He takes a whiff at that one outside the fastball. Way out there. 0-2. 30 pitches now for Lopez with this next delivery. But the reason I told you all that is because just on a basic level, baseball in America hasn't been as engaging and interesting for the fans, and so they've had to make some modifications to adapt to society. Swing and a miss by Dubon. Another strikeout for Jacob Lopez. He's been taking out the first batter with no problem in this game. That's an interesting question. Which of these other cities would you like to see become home to an MLB team? You guys have any ideas about that? First pitch to Pena is in there for strike one. The cutter finding its mark. The cutter cutting deep. Here's a pitch. Ooh, in the dirt. Swing and a miss. Lopez is not a guy they should have a tremendous amount of trouble hitting, but it seems like that is the case right now. They've only got one hit so far. Several strikeouts. 6 strikeouts. Here's the next pitch to Pena. Fouls it off. Pena on the verge of striking out with an 0-2 count. Bullpen time. It might be old dog. We'll see how he does in the next inning. We punish left-handed pitching, though. 2 runs won't hold. That's true. Ball 1. The slider missing. 1-2 to Pena with 1 out. Nobody on. Not even a ghost man on second. Ghost man. You guys remember that when you were kids? Ghost man on second. Fouled off at the plate. Count remains 1-2. My brother is 1 year older than me. Whenever we were little, we would play together. And one of us would pitch, the other would hit, right? And whenever we'd get on base, we would say ghost man on first, ghost man on second, then we'd go back and bat again for the next batter. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Jeremy Pena goes after a terrible pitch outside, a changeup that was about 2 feet outside the zone. Another chase strikeout. Pena reminiscent there. Shades of the past. Reminiscent of the past, Pena. PP, past Pena. Speaking of past Pena, that ball got past Pena. Brendan says, so proud of hitting a home run on a rookie pitcher. Good job. Absolutely. In a hitter's park. Isaac Paredes comes to the plate, takes that first pitch for strike 1. 2 outs, nobody on. Next pitch from Lopez. Wow, I thought that one was going to be a nice hit to right field, but it was a foul ball. 0-2 again. Lopez getting out to early leads in the count right now. If you look at this guy, too, look at Jacob Lopez. I'm not knocking him, but look at him. He doesn't look like a guy to be scared of, right? He looks like just a common, regular neighbor you'd have, in the neighborhood. He's out there mowing his yard. Hey, neighbor, what are you doing?
Oh, just doing a little yard maintenance today, watering the grass, trying to keep it green. Might go down to the driving range later.
That kind of guy. He doesn't look like a scary pitcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Paredes, the 40th pitch of the game coming up for Lopez. And here it is. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Swing and a miss in the dirt, low and inside. Paredes breaking my heart. You're breaking my heart over here, and it's not good the way you come at me today. At least I can get caught up with you guys in the live chat. Let's see what's going on here. Old Dog says, that's what I loved about Earl Campbell. After he scored or had a great run, he just handed the ball off to the ref or just set it down on the field. No showboating or celebrating. Pure class. Absolutely. Old Dog, he was like the Jose Altuve of the NFL, right? The Houston Altuve in football. That's right. F-Rod says, feels like a benches clearing night to me. You never know. You never know. Trust Rack said, I agree. Do you think Astros going to sweep? Going to sweep who? There's no way they can sweep the A's. They lost game 1. F-Rod says yeah, that's right. F-Rod's right. They lost the first game. And a sweep is impossible unless MLB goes back and determines that the A's cheated in the first game and give it to the Astros. That would be hilarious, but I don't see that happening. Jay says, I've just put 160 on the Astros. Are they going to win this one? I think so, but I don't recommend betting to anybody. Jay Paul says, Alston needs an MLB team. Another team in Texas? I don't know. I don't know what the fan base is like there. Orlando? There are some teams. Some areas have like several teams, and I don't quite understand why they have several teams. And some areas don't even have one team. Stros killing me right now. Still got a lot of game left. Yeah, me too, man. Me too, Trust Racks. F-Rod says no split. Win the series. Absolutely. Win the series. They should have swept this series, but winning it is a must. They can't split a series with the A's. That's ridiculous. I have the Astros scoring 10 runs this game. So it's got to happen. It's got to happen. First pitch. Fouled off for strike 1. The Swiffer. Gordon trying to clean up his act right now by using the Swiffer. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Brent Rooker. Swing and a miss. That's right. Take that. Old-fashioned Gordon special. Nothing but burnt toast for you, Mr. Rooker. 0-2. How about some jam? Yes, line drive straight to Paredes, who catches that no problem. Rooker tries to reject Gordon's jam. But Gordon force feeds him. You will eat this. I will make you eat it. Line drive out number 1. Tyler Soderstrom, or Soderstrike, is at the plate. Speaking of that, strike 1, swing and a miss. Soderstrike. "28 people following and 28 likes. Thanks so much. Here's the next pitch. Just a little inside. Ball 1. By the way, the left-handed home run, I think it was to Butler, that Gordon gave up. First one to a left-hander this year that he's given up. Strike 2. The sinker went right in the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Soderstrike. Ground ball right to Walker, who lobs it to Gordon. He steps on the bag. Out number 2. Make them eat it, Gordon. Force feed them your jam, whether they want it or not. This inning, Gordon doesn't get in a jam. He force feeds the jam to the A's. Light seems to be adjusting. Reconnected. 1 ball, no strikes. Had a brief disconnection there. 1 ball, no strikes to Max Muncy. Come on, Muncy, eat it. In the dirt. But Daddy, It was in the dirt. I don't care. It's still good. I worked. I bought it. I paid for it. You will eat it. That's right. Take it. Strike one. 92-mile-per-hour sinker on the inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the next pitch. Just a tad outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Come on, Muncie. We're going to turn you into Munchie because you're going to eat it. Fouled it off. That's right. You eat it, Max Munchie. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jay, people like you, speaking of trash, you're living a trash life right now, my friend. I wouldn't say you're trash, but you're choosing to act like trash. Ground ball to Altuve, who lobs it over to first, no problem, out number 3. Gordon makes the A's eat the jam. Make them eat it. He has a great 3 up and 3 down third inning. We go into the top of the 4th. 2-0 A's. The Astros are preparing to go on a tear. And Jay from the chat is blocked from the channel because he's acting like a trash person. So goodbye to you, sir, whoever you are. Don't care about any of your messages. Let's see here in the chat. Let's see here. Jay Paul says the Florida teams have terrible fan support. You're right about that. I think it's because of the demographics in Florida. You know, a lot of people going down there from other states, right? Retiring in Florida, moving to Florida. They don't support the local teams. They support their hometown teams, right? It's a mix of support in Florida, so there's not a lot of strong local support. Sergio says they only have a 2-run lead. The Astros are still good. I agree. I figured that Gordon would give up 3 runs. If he had a good day, he would get through 5 innings and give up 3 runs. And he's through 3 innings giving up 2, and he just had a nice inning. So he's on track for that, I think. No big deal. I'm with Sergio on that one. Old Dog says if we don't get them early, then we'll get them late. 100% agreed. This is the A's we're talking about here. They can't hold us down forever. Regardless of how the Astros bat, they can't hold the bats down, especially if you look at the past couple of games. Nashville, that'd be an interesting place for a baseball team. I don't know how they do, but it would be an interesting place. Austin is great, but San Antonio might have better support, says Old Dog. It's possible. My hero's at the plate. First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. Look at that. This guy at the game, look at his outfit. Can I show it or what? What in the world's going on? There it is. Barely got it on the screen in time. What in the world was going on with my software here? Wow. Altuve takes that pitch on the outside edge. Could have been called a strike. He popped out his last at bat. Oh, strikes. Here's the pitch. A little high, ball 3. There we go. 3 balls, no strikes, Altuve, the lead off this inning. Here comes a 3-0 pitch. That's on the outside edge. See, the umpire called that one a strike. Earlier, he called it a ball, so he doesn't even know what he's doing. 3 balls and 1 strike to Altuve. Austin is great. Oh, I'm sorry. D says, Stros not winning today. You dominated them boys too bad, huh? Nani? Fouled back. Fouled off down the third baseline, rather. You donated, they dominated them boys too bad. I'm not quite sure what you mean, D. Off the plate, ball 4. Altuve gets a leadoff walk. And the crowd is booing. Half the crowd is cheering, half the crowd is booing. Yeah, forget you. Forget you. Sergio says, Coach needs to have a short lease with Colton Gordon if he comes out in the next inning. We can't let this game get away from us. Definitely can't let it get away, but we'll see. We'll see how he does in the bottom of the fourth. If he has another solid fourth, I have confidence he can get through the fifth. Shiner Diaz comes to the plate. Give him a shiner. Oh, what was that? Did you guys see that? Shiner was like waving the bat around like, what am I doing? Strike one. He was just waving the bat around like nonsense. He goes around on that one. Strike two. 90 mile per hour four-seam fastball. No connection. Altuve on first base with no outs here in the top of the fourth. Astros down just by 2. Here's the next pitch to Shiner. Crush it! He does smack it, but it's a line drive right to Wilson, who puts it away. Altuve stays on first base. 1 away. Old Dog says, how about Omaha, where the College World Series is played? I don't know what kind of local support there would be for a team. Good question, though. Efrod says, I'm surprised we don't have a no-hitter this year. It seems like we have one every year. Yeah, we've had some opportunities. Cam Smith comes to the plate, hits that first one into right field. Diving catch. They quickly get it back in. Cam Smith is robbed. Altuve has to stay on first base. Man, Cam Smith went right after that one immediately. Good catch by the right fielder. That was an opposite field smack. Efrod says, you want some peanut butter with that jam? That's right. I'm going to make you eat it. Christian Walker comes to the plate. 50 pitches now for Lopez. Walker struck out his last at bat. First pitch is outside, taken for a ball. You know, if Walker would just hit the ball 50% of the time he swung at it in the zone, that would be a huge improvement. Here comes the next pitch. Low and inside. Call the ball. 2-0. You know, one thing I can't say about the umpire is that he's calling inconsistently for both teams. Here's the pitch. Low. Called a strike. Okay. This umpire is a 50-50 coin toss. If it's barely in the zone or completely inside the zone but on the edge, on the bottom or the top, it's like a coin toss if it's going to be a strike or a ball. Fouled back by Walker. And that's 2-2 now on the count. J. Paul says Charlotte is actually probably the best bet for MLB. Eat the food, Tina. Here's the pitch. No, he goes over to first base. Altuve's back. Didn't really have much of a lead. Probably just a little breather for the pitcher. Sergio says the Tigers lose 8-4 in the 10th to the Pirates. Awesome. They get a grand slam to walk it off? Or just get 4 runs? That's great. One step closer. We got to get this game. Walker hits this one way in the air. It looks like that's going to be out number 3. 3 guys over. Second baseman finally takes charge. The ball was kind of floating around. So Altuve getting the walk leads to nothing. Astros still with just 1 hit through 4 innings. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 4 hits and 2 runs for the A's. 1 hit, no runs for the Astros. No errors in this game so far. Yep, we can win this game and take another step closer to being in first place. That's right. Are the Stankies playing today? You guys know if the Stanks are playing? The Stanks? The Stanks. Let's take a look and see what's going on in the MLB. Hey, the Padres are leading the Dodgers 1-0. Oh, the Stanks won. They beat the Angels 7-0. So the Stanks broke their winning streak, or their losing streak. Well, for us, that would be a winning streak for the Stanks. If they're losing, that's a winning streak in my mind. But they were able to beat the Angels. Yeah, the Angels scored in the first couple of innings, but they fell behind in the second, and they were never able to recover after that, unfortunately. Trout had a home run in the first inning, of course. Yeah. Oh well, it is what it is. I got some messages from the gas station. I guess I got some more coupons. I'm really happy at the coupon that I got the other day. It was like 5 yen off per liter. And the gas prices have come down a lot recently here in Japan. Put those two things together, it's fill-up time, baby. I need to check that coupon. We got a lefty at the plate by the name of Nick Kurtz. Takes that first pitch for strike one. Gordon serving up some more jam. Ooh, that could have been a strike. Lower outside edge, or lower outside corner, rather. 1-1 strike to Kurtz. He fouled out earlier to Caratini, one of Caratini's 2 great catches behind the plate. Fouls that one off, back into the crowd. 1-2 strikes. Brendan says, why are we struggling against a 4.8 pitcher? Every dog has his day. Yeah, Sergio D. I'm trying to figure out what D meant by that. Anybody have an idea what D meant? All right, how about that? Swing and a miss. I missed the highlight there. They'll probably show it again. I'll give you guys a quick little highlight. Here it comes. That's right. Go sit down, Mr. Kurtz. Eat that. Gordon with the Swiffer cleans up that dirt. Urias at the plate. First pitch. A little outside. I thought that was going to be a strike. But with this umpire, like I said, it's a coin flip. You never know. Here's a pitch. That's hit hard to left field. And it dies before it can get to Dubon. 5th hit of the night. 5 hits for the A's. Runner on first with 1 out. Why? I need to fix that on the screen. I wish it wouldn't do that. First pitch to Urias. Fouled into the right side. Not playable, off the net. Walker can't get to it. Oh, that's actually Willie McIver at the plate. They didn't update the names on the screen quick enough for me. .62 pitches now for Gordon. The count is 0-1 against McIver. Urias is on base, actually, on first base with a single. Here comes the pitch. Hit hard into right field, right center, all the way out to the wall. It's going to bounce over the fence. Then it's going to be a ground rule double. Runners will go to second and third. So you know what that means. Now we got we've got a Gordon old-timey jam going on now. 1 out with runners on second and third. With that hit out into right center. Boom, right over the fence. A homer and a double for McIver today. He's got a good going. 6 hits for the A's. That brings up Denzel Clark. Goes after the first one. Pops it foul. And into the crowd on the first base side. Strike one. Brendan, you always take the most negative stance against the Astros' chances of doing well in the game. You're always upset with the pitchers and the batters and the score. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off again. Strike two. 0-2 is the count. Gordon making him eat it. Doesn't matter. A guy on second or third, who cares? Doesn't matter. Even if the A's score 2 more runs, it doesn't matter. This is a Major League Baseball game, and this is the Astros. They can win this game. It's all good in the neighborhood, yo. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Hit high in the air. Is that going to be playable? It's going to float into the crowd. Count remains 0-2. The wind is really blowing things around right now, blowing the baseball around. It's moving all around. Makes it even more impressive when you realize how difficult those catches were for Caratini. 0-2 against Denzel Clark. He's 0 for 1 today. Let's make him 0-2. Here's a toss from Gordon. Make him eat it. No, it's a little outside and high. No big deal. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Colton 45. Come on, pull out the Colton 45. Here's the 1-2 pitch, rather. In the dirt inside. The Swiffer. He tries to sweep up the dirt. He's just clearing the way. He's just cleaning the space so he can have a nice place to set his strikeout. That's all. That's all. Got 32 people following and 32 likes. That's awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Here comes the 2-2. Oh, check swing. Did he go? Nope. He held back. 3-2. That's interesting. 32 people following right now. 32 likes. 3-2 is the count. 69 pitches for Gordon. The 70th one on the way. In just a moment. Here it comes. Foul tip bounced at the plate. The Swiffer got in there, but he was able to get just a piece of it. They were showing how Caratini had to run all the way around. Oh, not that one. That one didn't move as much. Next pitch is fouled off again by Clark. Count remains 3-2. Yeah, one of those balls that was fouled off for Caratini, it went back and then it came back in. It was going out into the crowd and it came back and he caught it. The other one went up and around, so Caratini actually ran in like a U, a semicircle, to catch it. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off again. Clark is a bad child. He is arguing with Gordon about eating the jam. But Gordon will make you eat it. Plane to hanger, Gordon. Plane to hanger. Three balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Clark. There we go. Make him eat it. Strike 3. Right in the bottom inside corner. Colton 45. Beautiful pitch. 92 mile per hour 4-seam right there, baby. Eat that. Go cry to mama. Daddy's going to make you eat it. 2 away. Next batter is Lawrence Butler. Right in there on the inside edge. 93 mile per hour sinker. A single and a solo homer for Butler today, but it's not very common for left-handers to do this off of Gordon. Here's the pitch. Ground ball opposite side. Paredes gets it. Fires to first. Out number 3. Right on the money. Our gold glove over there at third base getting it done. Gordon locks it down in the 4th inning. No problems. We go into the top of the 5th. 2-0. Gordon getting it done. I don't care how ugly it is. What I care about is, does Gordon get out of the jam? And does he limit the damage? In my mind, like I said before, 5 innings from Gordon, no more than 3 runs given up, then the Astros have no reason not to win this game. So, to me, it's more about Gordon getting through 5 innings. I'm not worried about the Astros scoring runs this game. Not worried about it. If you think about it, yes, there's 1 hit on the board and no runs for the Astros. But I've seen games like this. I've seen a lot of games like this before where the Astros are facing a pitcher that they're supposed to be hitting. And it seems like, holy crap, this guy's doing really well. You know, why is he doing so well through like the first 4 or 5 innings? But then that's when the cracks start to show. The Astros light him up. And he's on a short leash. And that's another thing I've noticed in this series with the A's. I kid you not. You guys watch it. I'm telling you right now, as soon as the Astros start to show just a little bit of ability to hit this guy, you're going to see the A's warming guys up in the bullpen. They've been doing that the whole series. As soon as their guy starts giving up hits, they start warming someone up in the bullpen. So just keep an eye on that. Jake Myers is due up for the Astros. And he is walking to the plate right now. Walking to the plate with authority. I own this place. This is mine. Myers had a really great game yesterday also. Several hits. RBIs. Big contributor. Batting .299 for the season. That's right in there. The 79-mile-per-hour pitch. The slider dropping right in there. Let's go 45s. Yes, 45s. Colton 45s. Houston Colton 45s. Next pitch on the way. High and inside. Ball 1. 1-1 is the count. Top of the 5th. Come on, Stros. Here's the next pitch. Hit opposite field. That's going to be down. Line drive hit for Jake Myers. Nice strike. Lead off hit. There we go. Hit number 2 for the Astros. When will the bullpen start on the next hit? We'll see. We'll see. Either Caratini gets a hit, which I feel he's going to get a hit on the very first swing, or he could go through and get a walk. But I really feel like he's going to go right after it on the first swing. Let's see. Here's the first pitch. Oh, he could have. 79 right in the middle of the zone. What you thinking about, Batman? You are not the take man. You are the Batman. Almost 50 people following right now and only 33 likes. Help me out with the discrepancy there. Like the live stream. Here comes the next pitch to the Batman. He swings at that one, but misses completely up in the zone, 90 miles an hour. 0-2, just like that. .60 pitches now for George Lopez, otherwise known as Jacob. Jacob George Lopez. He ain't nothing but a joke on the mound. Nothing but a joke. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Caratini. Nope. No pitch. He goes to first. Myers goes back. He gets back on. Attaboy, Jakey. That's right. F-Rod says attaboy. Sergio says, way to go, Jake. Let's go, Astros. Absolutely. Let's go. Nope. He goes over to first base again. 2 pickoff moves in a row over to first base. Nothing really serious, though. Not quite sure. Not quite sure what Lopez is thinking. Too lazy throws over to first base. Did he just want to take a breather or something? Here's the 0-2 pitch to Caratini in the dirt, ball 1. The changeup missing the mark. Okay. 5 people have attempted to steal on Lopez, and they have stolen every time. Here's the 1-2 count. Pitch way outside, almost a wild pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Batman. There's the next pitch, the 2-2. Swing and a miss on a 78-mile-per-hour slider. What in the world is going on there, Caratini? How do you miss that one? I guess he just wasn't expecting something that slow. One away. Dubon comes up to the plate. First pitch. Outside, good take. Glad he didn't swing at that one. Dubon has a very high swing rate on the first pitch. Over 1 today with a strikeout, but actually Dubon, they noted that Dubon does not strike out very much, so that was kind of an oddity. That's hit really hard to left field, all the way out to the wall. It's gone. No, it's not gone. It's off the wall. I thought it was gone. Dubon is going to have himself a double, and that will score 1 run. All right. Almost had a home run off the wall. No, Myers does not score. How did Myers not score on that? He must have been holding up. There's no reason. Dubon thought it was a homer. He didn't take off running until he almost got to first base. That ball was right off the top of the wall. I thought it was gone. Myers didn't score. He waited too long. If he had just been running full speed, he definitely would have made it in, but he did not make it. Man. Whew. Jeremy Pena comes to the plate over 2 today, but he is batting .340 with runners on. 1 away, runners on second and third. Here's the pitch. He fouls that one off. I don't quite understand why Myers didn't go on that one. Did Paris Chica hold him up again, or did he just get a bad jump? I think maybe he got a bad read. He wasn't sure if that was playable or not. Hard to say. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Pena rips it to the left side. They're not going to have a play at home. They're going to fire it to first. So RBI for Pena. 2-1. Astros are down by 1. So Pena gets the sacrifice grounder. No play at second. No play at third. Two to one with 2 outs. Runner on second. Paredes at the plate. Outside corner strike 1. The cutter finding the mark. Man, I thought for sure that ball was gone, but the sun out there is so bright. Can't imagine what it's doing to the players. They were just talking about how, with the pitch coming from the pitcher, how the sun was playing with that earlier. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Paredes. He socked the ball. Long delay by the pitcher. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. The count is even. Yeah, Doobie. Northwest Houston. Sergio says now's a great time to steal. It'd be kind of cool to see Doobie steal, but I don't think he's going to be able to take third. You never know. Maybe there's a wild pitch here from Lopez. Send the juju. Lopez steps off the mound for a second to reset the pitch clock. Doobie on second. Here's the pitch to Isak the ball. Oh, he gets hit again? Are you kidding me? Paredes gets hit the first time on the foot, the second time on the elbow. So he's going to go to first base. Yeah, right on the back of the arm. Right on the back of the top of the arm. And that brings up my hero. You can hear the boos in the crowd and all the jeers and all of the crappy living people. Pitching coach is out on the mound to have a little chit-chat. That's right. You better have a chit-chat because this guy's about to destroy you. Altuve blew the game up yesterday with a 3-run homer, and now he has 2 runners on with 2 outs. Another opportunity for him to do some major damage. His home run the other day, they're talking about that right now, 439 feet. His longest one of the season. That's crazy. 439. That was a blast. Here comes the next pitch. The first one, Altuve. He skies it way up in the air. Looks like it's going to be playable. Wow. Soderstrom and Clark can't agree on who's going to take it. Luckily for them, they don't run into each other. I don't know how they didn't run into each other. Neither one of them gave in, but Altuve flies out on the very first pitch. That's unfortunate. But the Astros get 1. And they are showing that they can hit Lopez and will continue to hit as long as he stays in the game. 2-1. Just a 1-run lead by the A's. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. When we go to the bottom of the 5th, Gordon will be back up on the mound with 75 pitches in his pocket so far. Send him Perechicos, says Efrod. Sergio says Perechica signal Myers to stop. I'm not sure, Sergio, but I will tell you this. Either Myers got a bad jump or Perechica held him up, or both. I'm not sure. Efrod says, what's life like in Hiroshima? It's much more relaxed than life in Tokyo or Osaka. If you live in Tokyo or Osaka, I kid you not, man. Now, I will say this. If you have money, and of course, having money can mean that you have more time. Of course, some people have money because they work a lot, and so they're very busy, and they have a lot of important things to do. But I'm not talking about having a lot of money because you work a lot. I'm not talking about that. If you just have good income streams, maybe you have some online business, or you have some good investments, or you have some multiple income streams, so you have good money and you have free time, then living in a place like Tokyo or Osaka or whatever is really nice because there's so much to do and there's so much to see. But if you are living there and working there, the problem is that most people, including yourself, are going to be too busy working, and you're not going to have much time to do much else. You're not going to have much time to meet. You're not going to have much time to get together with other people. Life is too busy, but it's a little more relaxed in Hiroshima. And it's also cleaner. There's more nature here than in Tokyo. 0-1 is the count to Jacob Wilson. He fouls off the next pitch. 0-2. Oh and 2, here's a pitch in the dirt, 79-mile-per-hour pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jacob Wilson. There comes a 1-2 pitch. He hits that one out into left field. Doobie's underneath it, puts it away no problem. A soft liner for out number 1. Second best hitter in the MLB, just retired. 80 pitches coming up for Colton 45 in just a few moments. He's going to be facing Brent Rooker. Sergio says Hiroshima life is much better than it was in 1945. You can bet on that. First ball is hit out to left field. Dubon is over. That was a much harder hit ball. A very sharp line drive. Rooker on the very first pitch taking off on it. But Dubon was able to get over there no problem. 2 up and 2 down for Colton Gordon. He might be able to come out for the 6th inning, guys. Gets this next inning. 3 up and 3 down. Come on, Colton Gordon. You make him eat it. Max Munchie. No, that's Tyler Soderstrom. Too low and inside. Ball 1. The Swiffer. Missing the mark. Here comes the next pitch. Fouled off. 83 mile per hour Swiffer that time. Soder strike at the plate. 1-for-1. Check swing, did he go? No, he did not. That's a strike, my friend. Soder strike. We should call him swing and strike. Tyler swing and strike. That's right. Here's the next pitch to swing and strike. That one's in the dirt for ball 2. Tyler swing and strike. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on. Here's the next pitch from Colton, 45. Just barely outside. Misses the mark. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, man. You got this. You got it. Here's the toss. Right in there. Strike 3. Got him. Got him looking. 82 mile per hour Swiffer. Colton, 45. Takes out the trash. How about that? He takes out the trash. He sweeps that trash right out the door. Colton Gordon does exactly, actually did a little bit better than what what my expectation was. My expectation was Colton Gordon threw 5 innings, giving up no more than 3 runs, and he's only given up 2. That's good. Me likey. And his pitch count is not too high. He can come back out in the 6th. But like I think, Sergio, you said earlier, they should give him a kind of a short leash and have the bullpen ready. I absolutely agree. Here in the 6th inning, whenever we get to the bottom of the 6th, if Gordon is still in the game, then they should have a short leash. I agree, 100%. They should already have the bullpen warming up, I think, just in case. But the Astros now are at the bat in the top of the 6th. They're still on commercial break, but we'll be up in just a minute with Yainer Diaz, who's 1 for 2 today, followed by Cam Smith, who has been hitting the ball really hard. He was robbed on one of his hits. And then Christian Walker, who has been striking out today. Walker has what did he walk? Is that how he got on base? I know he got on base one time. He had a strikeout, but another time, did he walk? I'm not sure. No, he didn't walk. He didn't get hit. Can't remember how he got on. I'm lost. I don't know. Let's see here. Brendan says we just need 1 home run. Cypress, Texas. Chasen says, love this. Hey, Yainer Diaz. Oh, it's going to die. It was hit seemingly pretty hard to center field on the very first pitch, but straight to the center fielder for out number 1. Come on, Lopez is a guy we can crush. Let's do it. Cam Smith comes to the plate with the power to tie this game. Come on, Cam, crank it up. It's time to crank it up. No more idling. Crank it up, Cam. Here comes the toss. Right in there. 91 miles an hour in the center of the plate. Lopez at 73 pitches now. There's a pitch. High and outside. The 4-seam fastball missing the mark. 1-1 to crank it up, Cam. Here comes the toss. Check swing. Did he go? Low and inside. And they say he did not. Good call. 2 balls and no strikes. I'm sorry, 2 balls and 1 strike. My bad. Simone, why would you just ask somebody randomly on the internet and then make a bet? Why would you do that? That pitch is outside. Ball 3, 3-1 to Cam. That's a hitter's count right there. Three balls and one strike. Here's the pitch to Cam. 1 out. He swings at that one up and in. Could have been ball 4. But he was trying to crank it. 89 mile per hour sinker, I believe. Up and in, fouled away. The count is now full. Here comes the 3-2. Fouls that one off on the first base side. Changeup. 84 mph. Almost 50 people following along and 36 likes. Guys, remember, I'm trying to get to 500. I have a... Oh, where's my... Why isn't that on the screen? Where's my 500? Oh, where'd it go? I'll find it in just a minute. Outside, ball 4. Cam Smith walks. Where's my 500? My 500 subs? Where's my 500 subs picture? Christian Walker comes to the plate, fouls off the first pitch. I don't know where it went. I'm going to have to add it again. Maybe I accidentally deleted it. Don't know. Next pitch to Walker on the way. He grounds that one up the middle. That's going to be a hit. Right up the middle, guys. Walker gets a hit. Smith stops at second base. We have runners on first and second with 1 out. All right. There we go. I don't know why my image disappeared, but it is back. My sub goal. It hasn't been on this whole time. Why didn't I notice that? It just disappeared. One of those other things that I just had to fix. Crazy. A little bit of a mound visit going on right now with Lopez and a couple of infielders and the catcher. They've got Jake Myers at the plate. Walker on first with a single. Smith on second with a walk. And by the way, the A's do have the bullpen going, so there you go. As soon as he gives up a walk and a hit, they've got the bullpen going already. And they took a little break on the mound to give their bullpen a chance to warm up. Here's the first pitch to Myers. Myers rips it down the third baseline, but foul. Strike 1. Just a little reminder, guys, like I was just saying, more likes on the live stream is great. I appreciate that. We're almost at 40. We're just 1 away from 40, but I'm trying to get to 500 subs by the end of the month. So I would greatly appreciate you subbing if you haven't already. Here's the next pitch. A little bit outside. The crowd boos on that one, but it was clearly outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. Runners on first and second. Big hit from Myers right here. Come on, let's do it. High. Ball 2. Myers batting 7th in the lineup. Caratini on deck and Dubon in the hole. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the train going. 2 balls, 1 strike. Lopez steps off the rubber for a moment. 2-1 pitch coming up in just a second or so, and there it is. That's crushed hard to left field. Is it going to be fair? It's going to drop in the corner. Just foul. Oh my gosh. Big effort there by the left fielder. Swinger strike. Soderstrom. It was foul, yeah, by about 5 or 6 feet. Man, that would have been a big hit. But if it had been fair, I think he would have caught it. So, got lucky. 2 balls and 2 strikes. If that had been a line drive fair ball, that would have been awesome. 56 people in the live stream and only 39 likes. That's a discrepancy. Make sure you click the like button, guys. Help me out here. Help out the channel. Please subscribe. Here's the pitch. 2-2. Outside. Taken for ball 3. Myers showing some patience at the plate. 86 pitches now for Lopez. He is at the end of his rope. Bullpen warming up big time for the A's. Full count with runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. Loads him up for the Batman. He did have a 3-run homer yesterday. I think they're not going to let him pitch to Caratini. That's my guess. Are they going to let him stay out there? Caratini is a switch hitter, for those of you who don't know. He's batting right-handed against Lopez, the left-hander. Bases loaded with 1 out. Here's the toss. Very first pitch, he fouls it off on the opposite field side, first base side. 89-mile-per-hour cutter. Strike 1. We are at 40 likes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, guys. I don't know where my sub count is, but earlier today, before I started the game, I was 30 away. Just 30 away. Really hoping to get there before the end of the month to 500. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Caratini. Inside and low, ball 1. Come on, Batman. Come on, Batman. He steps off the mound again just to take another break. That's a disengagement. 1-1 is the count. 1 out. Bases juiced. Here comes the pitch. Caratini swings at that one outside. 83 miles an hour on that outside edge. Maybe 3 inches out. Strike 2. Here's the next pitch. Late swing by Caratini. Can't get around on that 91-mile-per-hour fastball. 2 strikeouts this game. Dubon is due up at the plate. The pitch coach comes out to have a little meeting. Guys, Mauricio Dubon is up at the plate with bases loaded and 2 outs. How many of you are willing to bet that he hits a grand slam? Wouldn't that be crazy in this park? His hometown park, basically. Can you imagine if Dubon got a grand slam here in this park? How awesome would that be? How awesome would that be? I think a lot of these people would go home if Dubon hit a grand slam here. Here's a pitch. Outside, ball 1. Lopez is now up to 92 pitches. I thought he was still under 90, but he's at 92 pitches right now. Here comes the 1-0 to Dubon. Swing and a miss. That was a light, easy swing. I guess he just came around too early. It was an 82-mile-per-hour changeup. 1-1. Since May 15th, Astros 54% with 2 outs on their runs. Fouled off. 87-mile-per-hour cutter. Fouled back and away for strike 2. 1-2. Sergio says, I have $100 in Monopoly money riding on a 5-3 win. Here we go. 1-2. He goes after a swing in the dirt, way outside in the dirt. Terrible strikeout. Awful at bat for Dubon. There's no way around that. That was just an awful at bat. Absolutely awful. That's what happens when you're trying too hard. You're trying to make something happen, and you swing at garbage, because that was not even a competitive pitch. There was nothing about that pitch that would make a good at-bat hitter swing. Terrible, absolutely terrible at-bat. Astros get nothing in the top of the sixth, despite having runners on the entire inning. 4 hits for the Astros, only 1 run on the board. That's probably the last they will see of that pitcher. Colton Gordon is at 86 pitches himself. We'll see if he comes back out in the 6th. My guess is that they will bring him out with a short leash, but we'll see. Let's see here. Fruit Juice says, new subscriber, cool graphics, go Astros. Thank you, Fruit. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you subscribing. Speaking of subscribing, I don't know how many subscribers I have now. Earlier today, I needed 30 more to get to 500. Right now, $478. Holy cow. That's great, guys. We've gotten 8 subscribers just in the past hour and a half, because right before the live stream started, I checked the subscriber count, and I needed 30 more. Right now, I need 22. 22 more to go. 22 more subs to go to get to 500, guys. You guys are freaking awesome. It seemed like, I believe it was just a couple weeks ago when the channel got over 400, and then suddenly there was a big uptick, and I thought, hey, we might be able to get to 500 by the end of the month. Okay, very first pitch hit out into right field. Nobody's able to get over there and get it. Walker goes over, Altuve goes over, Cam Smith goes over. Nobody's able to get to it, and it drops in for a hit. You can see it right here. Walker couldn't find it. Walker was over there, just couldn't see it. Look at him. Altuve saw it, but he just couldn't get over there in time. Walker not impressing me with the glove this year, especially recently. Got a leadoff runner. First pitch to Nick Kurtz is in the top of the zone for strike 1. That's unfortunate because that hit shouldn't be on Gordon. It should be an error on Walker. Here's the pitch. Outside. 1-1. Brendan says we sucked bases loaded all year. Yeah, but where we sucked in one area, we made up in another, right? Scoring a lot of runs with 2 outs. Number 1 in all MLB in that category. So you suck in one area, you do well in another, right? You can't be great in every area. That's impossible. Caleb Ort is warming up in the bullpen. Here's the next pitch. Tabber back to the mound. Gordon tries to get it, has trouble. Throws it over. They get him barely in time. They're going to take a quick look at it because Gordon couldn't pick it up quickly. The A's immediately say they want to review it. Yeah, he's going to be safe. He's going to be called safe. Gordon bobbled it when he tried to pick it up. They called him out, but he was safe. He was clearly safe. We're going to have runners on first and second with no outs. They're going to overturn that for sure. Of his class, right? He tries to punch above his class. Colton Gordon is going to come out of the game after that one. Espada's coming out to the mound. They're not going to let him go. So I'm glad to see that Espada's thinking like me. He gave Gordon a chance for the 6th inning, and then gave him a short leash. So Gordon's coming out. Caleb Ort is going to be in the game in just a moment, guys. We're going to take a break while we're waiting on Caleb Ort to come in. There he is right there. Let's see here. Juice Fruit Juice says not to be that guy, but I never liked the Walker signing. I was hoping to be wrong. I have low expectations going forward. You know, Fruit, I really didn't know anything about Christian Walker at all. I had to go look up his track record to see how he was playing and if it was a good deal or not. And my feeling was, I had two feelings. Number one, the guy that we got on paper just seemed so-so. But there was a possibility that we could get some good performance out of him. That's the way so that was my second feeling. It's like, well, he's not amazing, but there's a possible upside, so we can hope for the best. That's the way I felt. But I have been beyond disappointed with his performance. And his defense has been falling behind a lot, especially recently. We got an amazing deal out of Isaac Paredes. He's been solid on defense. He's basically the best third baseman that there is. And he's been contributing at the plate. Walker has been making a lot of blunders at first base. And look at his batting average. You know, why do we keep him in the lineup? Anybody would be better than Walker in the lineup right now. I even heard this morning them talking about Big John being available from the minors, bringing him in and putting him on first base. Seriously, though, I mean, if you really think about it, who would you rather have in the lineup? Big John at first base batting or Christian Walker? I'm sorry, but I'm going to go with Big John 100%. Caleb Ord is on the mound. Wilson showing bunt right off the bat. First pitch is down for ball one. We have runners on first and second, guys, with no outs. And that preview is up there for way too long. Nobody out. Bottom of the sixth. Here comes the pitch. He swings at that one. No bunt. Fouled off. Goes into the crowd. Strike one. 1-1. Urias. I thought that was Wilson at the plate. That's Urias. Luis Urias. Shoot says stop signing old guys. Yeah, he is 34. He's not a youngin'. Here's the next pitch. Grounded foul down the third base side. 1-2. 90-mile-per-hour cutter. So Ort gets ahead in the count. But luckily we got some young guys that are really starting to show themselves to be very useful. We are getting amazing output right now from Cam Walker, considering he's just 22. That's nuts. Here comes a 1-2. Nope. Ort steps off the mound. Reset the pitch clock with a disengagement. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Urias. No outs. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. Outside. Check swing. Ball 2. And by the way, Fruit Juice, I don't mind you expressing that opinion at all. I agree with you. As long as people are respectful, I don't have a problem with their opinions. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Ort gets a strikeout. 97-mile-per-hour fastball up and in. Urias goes down swinging. Out number 1. 97 with some movement. Beautiful pitch. Look at that. Boom. Not going to see a 97-mile-per-hour fastball with that kind of movement from Colton Gordon. I don't think he can throw that. All right. Good job so far, Ort. Just 2 more to go. Next batter is Willie McIver. Breaks his bat. Goes to second. Pena to Altuve. Altuve to first. The pitch. Oh, the throw is too high. Altuve overthrows first base, and that's going to score a run. The double play almost ended the inning, but Altuve throws it way over Walker's head. Speaking of errors, A double play ball on the broken bat. Pena flips it to Altuve. Altuve tried to get it to first as quickly as he could, but just went over Walker's head, way over his head. 2 errors on the Astros this inning. 3-1. McIver tries to steal second. The throw is too late. He's going to be in there. Fair on Walker. I love Paredes. Yeah, Paredes is earning his keep. That's for sure. We really need him. Here's the next pitch to Clark. So we're going to miss. 1-1. Man. I really hate to see Altuve making errors, but I'm not sure that throw would have gotten there, but at the very least it would not. Well, no, the run would have scored either way, so that's right. It would have scored either way. Here's a pitch. Ground ball. Pena dives for it. Hey, look at that. Pena goes. They've got him in the hotbox at third base. He's out. McIver was going to third. He had third. Pena had no play after diving and catching that ball. He had no play at first base. But McIver came around. He rounded third. So Pena went to third to Paredes. They got McIver in the hot box. Paredes threw it to Caratini, who puts the tag on him. So after a couple of errors, the Astros come back with some great defense. Pena, Paredes, and Caratini shut it down. Holy cow, that inning could have been so much worse. Could have been so much worse. So check this out, guys. I predicted that Colton Gordon would give up 3 runs. And he did. He has 3 earned runs this game. I called it. I called it. 5 innings, 3 runs. That's exactly what he pitched. He was not able to pitch 6 innings. That's what happens when you call these games and you get to see every single guy day after day after day after day. Even the new pitchers, you start to kind of get a feel for what they're capable of. And I thought, 5 innings, giving up no more than 3 runs, that's the maximum I expect from Gordon. That's exactly what he did. So I'm happy with that. I'm not upset with this game. I'm just waiting for the Astros to start crushing the ball, and I do believe that's going to happen. Poor Altuve. But still, guys, even if Altuve had made the throw, think about this. Even if he had made the throw, it wouldn't have been in time. The A's still would have scored a run. They're re-showing this awesome play here. Pena couldn't go to first base. He goes to third. Paredes, he goes to tag him. McIver tries to run home. He gets in the hot box, and all he has to do is toss it to Caratini, who tags him out. Easy play. Yeah, that's right, McIver. You thought you were the real-life MacGyver, but you're just bargain bin MacGyver. You're not the real MacGyver. He's discount MacGyver. New pitcher, J.T. Ginn. J.T. Ginn is up for the A's. He's facing Jeremy Pena, the Flash. All right, let's get this going. First pitch fouled off. Strike 1. Sergio says we're going to have to agree to disagree. Christian Walker is the best first baseman that we've had since Yuli. I'll accept everyone's apology at season's end. Sergio, I know that you're a Walker guy, but like I told you many times before, he's got to prove it, and he hasn't proven anything yet. So I appreciate your hope, but you're talking about something that doesn't exist yet, a possibility in the future, but he hasn't shown anything at all to prove to me that it's possible. Pena rips it through. Nice catch by Wilson, but he has no way to beat Pena. Pena's way too fast. That's why we call him the Flash. Infield single by Pena. Diving catch by Wilson on the left side of the field, but Pena was like 5 steps beyond the base before that ball even got there. Why did he even throw it? A ridiculous effort by Wilson to throw the ball. Good catch, but ridiculous to throw it over there. He socked the ball. Paredes is at the plate. First pitch, hit hard to left field. It's not going to be deep enough to move Pena over, though. Fly out. Soderstrom puts it away for out number 1. My hero coming to the plate, Jose Altuve. 0 for 2 today. It's time for him to crank it up. Shut up this crowd again like he did yesterday. Simone, these Astros suck right now. What does that have to do with anything? Look what they did the past couple of games. Altuve tries to bunt on the run and misses. Strike 1. Don't be so quick to be negative, guys. Drop the negative comments. If you're really a positive person and a positive Astros fan, don't be so quick to be negative. We can't win all the time. We can't play great all the time. Ground ball on the left side. Altuve might have a... Yeah, he grounds into a double play, so that's going to be it for the Astros this inning. JT Ginn has the Astros number with that ground out. So nothing doing in the top of the 7th. 3-1. The Astros are behind to the A's. 8 hits for the A's, 5 hits for the Stros. 2 errors for the Stros. One of those a throw by Altuve, one of those misread by Walker in right field. Mark says Mr. Go is turning blue. Blue? Oh, it must be the light. I've got a really big monitor up here, so it's the light shining on my face. I don't know why I would be turning blue if it's not the light. I have no reason to turn blue. Coco says we losing. Yeah, it's 3-1. If you mean Astros by we, then yes, that's correct. Of course, yeah. I hope we win too, but I know we can win, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm not worried at all, actually. Fruit Juice says Paredes reminds of Pablo Panda Sandoval before Panda got heavy. I mean that in the best ways possible. Great fielding, likable dude, good punch with the bat. Yeah, and actually in some ways he also kind of reminds me of, what's his name? The guy that just left the Red Sox. The one that Bregman's trade caused a stir in. Do you know what I'm talking about? What is his name? Really good player and good fielder, but they wanted him to kind of like do DH or maybe play first or something. Yes, Devers, Mark, thank you. Rafael Devers. Rafael Devers is a good player. If we had him on the team, of course, we don't need him at third, but if he were a first baseman, man, can you imagine having him on the team in the lineup if you were a first baseman? Holy freaking cow, that'd be great. But he has a lot of pride about his position, so he would not allow that. He wants to be on third. Looks like we got Fried Oakert on the mound now. Stephen Oakert. Stephen Oakert is facing who? Lawrence Butler. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch on the way. Just a little outside. 2 balls and no strikes. I need to clear my throat. 1 second, guys. All right, I think that's better. 2 balls and no strikes from Oakert. Here comes the toss to Butler. That's in there. 82 miles per hour on the slider. Slowly creeping its way into the top of the zone. Four likes away from 50. Pretty good. Not nearly as amazing as yesterday, but still good. Still really good. Outside, ball 3. Okert needs to lock it down. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. Strike 2. Full count. Four-seam fastball. Getting Butler to swing. Sergio says, I agree with the comment about not being so negative. Hint, hint. Yeah. There's a hang on a second. Next pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. All right. Fried Okert serves up some fried Okert. You eat it. One away. Next batter due up is Jacob Wilson. One away for Okert. Here in the bottom of the 7th. There is an interesting guy that does a podcast on YouTube and on some other channels, and he always says always positive, always Stros. This one's hit really hard to left field, and that's gone. Right over Steve Okert's name in left field. Jacob Wilson with a solo home run off Stephen Okert. Sadly, right over Stephen Okert's own name. How sad was that? Did you guys notice that? Jacob Wilson hits a solo home run off Okert right over the Stephen Okert sign in left field. No kidding. There's the hit. And look at this. There's the sign right there, right over the Stephen Okert sign. Talk about adding insult to injury. 4-1 A's with one out. Next batter's at the plate. Rooker takes the first pitch low and inside for ball 1. Mark says Devers is a clutch hitter. Yes, he is. He's solid. This is fouled off down the first base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sergio says Devers is going to do good things in San Francisco. I'm rooting for him. I wouldn't be surprised to see him at first base. I would be surprised to see him at first base. He doesn't want to play first base. Here's a pitch. High and outside for ball 2. 2-1 against Rooker. That was a big problem in Boston, you see, with Bregman coming in, Devers wanting to be at third base. High and outside, did he swing? They say no, he did not swing. Ball 3, 3-1. Mark says, Walker is a Gold Glove winner. His bat is down now. It's odd that he's having errors. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He hasn't shown me any professionalism this year in his play at all. I mean, he's made some good catches whenever the ball's thrown to him. But see, like I said yesterday, I don't know if you guys remember this, but yesterday I noticed something that is a trend, okay? It's a consistent trend with Walker. If it's a controllable, focusable situation, like there's a throw coming to him from third base and it's in the dirt, no problem. Here's the next pitch. Low and in the dirt. Ball 4. A full count walk to Rooker. We have a base runner with 1 out. But if there's a lot going on and it requires some out of the ordinary movements and some quick thinking, Walker breaks down. This season, that's happened over and over and over again. So if somebody hits a ball directly to him and it's a rocket and he has to scoop it up or he has to dive and grab it, no problem. But if he has to think quickly and react quickly, he messes up. It happens over and over and over again. Okert steps off the rubber to take a little break. We have a runner on first with 1 out. Okert has already given up 1 solo homer. He's facing Soderstrom right now. First pitch is low. Ball 1. Swing and strike. Tyler Swing and Strike is at the plate. Yes, Mark and Sergio, you're right. I'm not. I didn't say his name, but I just think it's ironic because he says a lot of things that are not positive. So 1 ball, 1 strike with that foul ball. Tyler Swing and Strike with a 1-1 count. Trust Track says Astros still got this. Yeah, I believe that this game is not out of control. Still not out of control. Here comes the next pitch. Way high. Ball 2. 2-1. Mark says he was mad because he had seniority over Bregman. I think Walker is in pain. Yeah, you're right about Devers. Devers was... You could say that Devers had his position set in stone, and then the Red Sox came in and bulldozed him out of it. Of course he's going to be upset about that. Rooker stole second, or he tried to, but it was fouled off for strike 2 by swinging strike. Mark says, I think Walker is in pain. I don't know. He was at the very beginning of the year, right? He had some problems at the beginning of the year. I haven't heard anything about that recently. Next pitch is fouled off again at the plate. Count remains 2-2. That was off of Caratini's glove. Unfortunately, couldn't hang on to it. But yeah, Mark, I'm kind of with you on that. Who knows? Who knows? Well, you never know, especially with the Astros. They're not very they're more opaque with their injury reporting than they are transparent. Okert throws it over to first base, kind of a lazy throw. Rooker goes back. The crowd goes boo. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out, 1 runner on. Here's the pitch from Okert. Serves up some fried Okert for swing and strike. Tyler swing and strike. Swings and strikes out. Second strikeout for Stephen Okert. He's having to work pretty hard, though. These counts getting pretty high. 92 mile per hour. Took a little off of that one. He had a 97 mile per hour strikeout pitch on the first batter. And this one just 92, but it was well placed. 2 away. Max Munchie. You going to eat some Okert? Little throw over to first base. Sergio says it was an issue of disrespect in Boston. Unfortunately for Devers, that chapter is closed. Yep. You know, you got to do what's right for you, and Boston disrespected him. That's very sad for the fans because they like Devers too. I'd be really upset about that. If it had been somebody like Devers in Houston, can you imagine us having somebody like Devers and then that happening? The fans would be so upset about that. I can only imagine how they feel. 1-0 is the count. And this is hit high on this next pitch. High in the air, should be an easy out for Cam Smith. He's underneath it. Puts it away for out number 3. Thank goodness. 1 homer by Jacob Wilson off of Okert. But otherwise, we get out of the inning with just the 1 hit. 5 hits for the Astros, 1 run. 9 hits for the A's, 4 runs. Astros have 2 more innings to make up 3 runs, just to tie the game and send it into extra innings. I should probably get up and move around a little bit. I'm going to do that right quick, guys. I'll be right back. I need to stretch. It is the end of the 7th. I didn't get my 7th inning stretch. I need to get some blood flow, so I'll be right back with the top of the 8th. Yainer Diaz will be up as well. Go Stros. Whew. All right, I'm back. First pitch to Diaz is a little low and outside. Good take for ball one. Just realized I put my glasses way back behind my head. There we go. Now I can see. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Diaz. Right in the middle of the plate. 87-mile-per-hour slider. Count's even, 1-1. Ginn has 8 pitches now against the Stros. He had a good inning last inning. Let's light him up this inning. Next pitch from Ginn is on the way. Little tapper to the shortstop. Wilson, he fires it over, no problem. 1 away on the ground out. The broken bat ground out. Crank it up, Cam. Comes to the plate. No hits today for Cam. The Astros only have 5 hits. Cam doesn't yet have one of them. He does have a walk today. Here's the pitch. Little outside check swing. Holds back. The slider missing. Ball 1. Come on, Cam. It's the top of the 8th. Let's get it going. It's time to score runs. Chops this one down to the third base side. He's going to have to hurry. Barely gets him. Good play by Munchie. 2 away, just like that. 2 ground outs. That brings up our best guy, Christian Walker. But Walker does have a single today. One of the only 5 hits by the Stros. Batting an amazing .217 for the season. The good thing is that he has brought that up. He stayed under 200 for the longest time. But .217 is still unbearably bad. Here's a pitch. Little high and outside for ball 1. Barely missing the corner. Here comes the next pitch. Fouled off. 94 in the top of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 away. Nobody on for the Astros here in the top of the 8th. Is this going to be one of those go quietly into the night and lose 4-1? Or is it going to be come back and win this game? Here's the pitch. Low and inside. A little check swing. He holds up. 2 balls and no strikes. Man, you can see the wind is blowing so strong right now. You can see it shaking some of the cameras. Pretty crazy. Hey, BB. Nice to have you here. Low and outside, ball 3. 3-1 to Walker. 2-out rally. We'll see. Sergio says the 7th is normally when our bats tend to come alive. Let's go. Well, we're in the 8th now, so we're a little behind. Fouled off for strike 2. Full count. Mark says, I remember the Astros got the 3rd baseman. When Ken was there, he was not happy about it. They traded him. Yeah, that's right. A little outside, ball 4. That was close. Ginn was really upset about that, but it was clearly outside the zone. That was a good call by the ump. He's been inconsistent all night long, but he got that one right. That was outside the zone. Good take by Walker, living up to his name that time. Christian Walker gets a walk with 2 outs. That brings up Jake Myers. Astros going to have the big 2-out rally again. They're number 1 in all MLB by far for scoring runs with 2 outs. Here's the first pitch. Swings and fouls it off. 94-mile-per-hour sinker. Strike 1 on Myers. Ken Caminiti, rest in peace, says Sergio. Ken Caminiti, one of the coolest names. Great player. Great personality and very strong work ethic. Outside, ball 1. Outside and low. But I also like Caminiti's name. It's a really cool name. Caminiti. Looks like Brian King is warming up in the bullpen for the Stros. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Myers. That's going to be a strike right on the outside edge. 86-mile-per-hour slider, 1-2. 47 likes on the live stream. I don't know if we're going to have enough to get to 50 today with the way the Astros are playing at the moment. The game not being too close. Might not have enough new people come in to see the end of this one, right? Here's the 1-2 pitch to Myers. Come on, Mr. Baseball. Takes that one inside, 94. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, guys. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Myers. He hits it up the middle. It's going to get through. That's a base hit. All right. Look at this, guys. It looks like they're going to bring in their closer. They're not going to let Ginn pitch to Caratini. After a walk and a single, they're going to bring Ginn out. Even though he's done pretty good overall against the Astros, with Caratini at the plate, they're going to change to their closer. Doesn't matter. Caratini can bat left or right. He's definitely got the power. He showed it yesterday. Man, Caratini tying it up right here would be quite the amazing feat, would it not? Sergio says the angriest I've ever been about a player being traded was Luis Gonzalez in 1995. Mark says, was it Phil Levin? They traded him when he was on vacation with his family. Oh man, yeah, that's terrible. You know, what really gets me sometimes is whenever players are traded and they find out about it through the media. Can you believe that? They don't even have the courtesy of hearing about it directly from the club. Now, even if it's a player that is kind of like a non-starter who never sees any playing time or whatever, that's still highly inconsiderate. You know, you get a phone call maybe from a family member or a friend or something that says, hey, I heard you were traded to the Twins. Huh? Really? Yeah, it's on the news. You were traded with another guy for some pitcher or whatever. I was just calling to see what you think of it. And then the guy's like, I don't know. That's the first time I've heard of it. Can you imagine? Or maybe can you imagine even being at home with your family? Or like you said, Mark, on vacation and then hearing about it? That's nuts. Caratini at the plate, guys. He hits the first one out to right field. It could be gone. Are you kidding me on the first pitch? It's gone. It's gone. The very first pitch, Caratini launches it. Butler goes up the wall. He climbs the wall. But off the A's #1 closer. He gets the long ball. It ties up the game. The Batman comes through again. Victor Caratini. Big smile on his face. Lots of celebrations. This game is tied. This game is tied. I told you guys not to give up. You never know what's going to happen in these games. You absolutely never know. Dubon is at the plate. Fouls off the first pitch. 4-4 in the top of the 8th. Wow. Caratini with ice in his veins. 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Ties it up. Here's the next pitch to Dubon. Dubon swings and misses. It looks like Dubon is still trying to be a hero here with those big swings. 0-2 is the count. That's the hero right there. That's the player of the game so far. Victor Caratini, our Batman, fouled back by Dubon. That was a much better swing than the first two. Look at that. 98 mile per hour four-seam fastball. And look at him drop the bat immediately. As soon as he hit it, man, I love the body language there. Way outside on Dubon. Ball 1-2. Trust Rack says never give up. What did I say, guys? You just don't give up, especially with this team and against this team. No way. You should never give up. Dubon fouls that one off again. An 88 mile per hour slider. Fruit Juice says you called it crazy fun. Yeah, man. You gotta believe, man. You gotta believe. Don't give up. Give them some energy. Give them some positive energy. Believe in them. Fouled off again. Dubon is really putting up a battle here at the plate. His first couple of swings looked pretty desperate, but since then he's been much more patient with his swings and fouling those off, so he's calmed down a little bit. Maybe that energy from the home run got him worked up. Here's a 1-2 pitch from Miller. Swing and a miss on that one. He completely missed it. That was just a good pitch. 88 mile per hour slider. But the big hit is that really fast slider right in the bottom of the zone, crushed by the Batman, and this game is tied. Doesn't this remind you of Yordan Alvarez, guys? It seriously does, because Yordan comes to the plate, guys are on base, and they're like, okay, we're going to take out our pitcher and put in a different pitcher to pitch to Yordan, and then Yordan cranks it out. It's like it doesn't matter who you have on the mound. Bring in a righty, bring in a lefty, bring in your ace. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's Yordan Alvarez. He's still going to hit it out of the park. Yordan has done that so many times where they're like, we can't afford to give up a hit. We can't afford to give up a homer. So when Yordan comes to the plate, they bring in a different pitcher. And it doesn't matter to Yordan if it's a right-hander or a left-hander. It doesn't matter. He's still going to hit the ball. And it's like the teams don't learn that. If you got a guy on the mound that's not doing very badly, and you're going to shift to another pitcher because you think that other pitcher can do better, Yordan will often, he has historically often burned them. So it's like it doesn't matter no matter what you do. And Victor Caratini's at bat just now reminded me of that. It's like they bring in their ace and the very first pitch out of the park. That was like a 98 mile per hour pitch in the bottom of the zone. Did you see that? That was below the zone. Caratini cranked it out. How awesome was that? How awesome. All right. Yeah, Mark says they called him on vacation and ruined his vacation. That's terrible. Old Dog says we're cooking with gas. Heck yes. Victor just-in-time Caratini, the true Batman. J. Paul says, I never doubted. I, for one, never doubted. Old Dog says, take that, fans. That's right. Take that, you nasty A's fans who are just blurting out your garbage in the stadium against Altuve. It looks like we got Abreu on the mound now. They changed. Just a little outside on that 96 mile per hour pitch. Ball 1 to Nick Kurtz. Brian Abreu on the mound for the Stros. 1-0 pitch rather on the way. Just a little low, 97 miles an hour. The fastball missing. 2-0. Trust Rack says always think positive. Negativity gets you nowhere. Yeah, and don't just think positive. Feel positive. That's the most important thing. Feel positive. 96 low. 3 straight balls from Abreu, outside, low. 3-0 to Kurtz. Come on, Abreu. Shut it down. Here's the pitch. Another one low. 3 straight low pitches and 1 outside. 4-pitch walk for Brian Abreu. Abreu rubbing up a new ball right now. 4-4. 7 hits for the Stros, 9 for the A's. Couple of big hits. Urias comes to the plate with a runner on here in the bottom of disconnect there for some reason. Strike 2. I think my satellite dish was reconfigurating. So, no balls, 2 strikes to Urias. He hits that one to the right side. It's going to get through. That's a hit. Runner goes to third. We're going to have runners on the corners with no outs. Abreu. Not looking like the normal Abreu. There's always that chance we have the Brian Abreu that gives up some base runners kind of early. No outs. Runners on the corners for the A's. Who's due up? Willie McIver? This is the bottom of the batting order now. Urias is being taken out of the game for a pinch runner. Schumann will be in for him at first base. Diaz having a little meeting on the mound. The infield is in. The pitching coach is over. Good job, Josh Miller. Thank you for going out there and having a little chit-chat. Let's get this shut down because this is the bottom of the batting order. I think with McIver and Clark due up, we have a good opportunity at a double play. But the double play ball would score a run. We don't want that. Willie McIver. Discount McIver is at the plate. 2 for 3 today. Come on, Abreu. Now that you shook off the rust, let's see some beautiful ace pitching. Mark says the whole team using Jordan bats now. Yeah, just like Dubon was. He was showing it off the other day. Christian Walker, you got to believe. Nice one, Sergio. That one's in the dirt. Caught by Caratini. Well, my opinion on Christian Walker is he has to show me something to believe in. If I look at a player and I can see potential there, then I can believe. But you have to see potential. High. Ball 2. 97 mile per hour pitch missing the mark. Abreu's fastball is not finding the mark right now. 2-0. J.J. Bleday is at the plate. Apparently he's pinch hitting for McIver. It's kind of strange since McIver was having a decent day. That's in there. 87 mile per hour slider. 2 balls and 1 strike. His batting average is terrible against right-handers. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. In the dirt, the slider starts off too low and ends too low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Brian Abreu getting himself into an old-timey jam. Here comes a 3-1 pitch. Right in the zone, fouled back for strike 2. 96 mile per hour fastball. That one was right in there. I wonder if Abreu is just not wanting to put his fastball in the zone. Sometimes, even though he's got the speed and the control, he's just not putting the fastball in the zone because they've said before that he wasn't real confident about the outcome if he puts it in the zone. So he's always trying to put it on the outside. But I think he can just blow it by this guy. Here's the pitch. And he does. But that time with a slider. 87 mile per hour strikeout. Beautiful. Beautiful. Out number 1. Take a look at this. That was a beautiful pitch. Started off in the zone and came down and in. That is a good pitch. Runners remain on first and second with 1 away. Now, if we get the double play ball with Denzel Clark. That would be just great. Here comes the first pitch. Way outside, ball one. The slider missing way outside. Actually, from the beginning of the year, I will say about Christian Walker that I was really, really hopeful that he would be a really good acquisition. But still waiting for him to turn it on, you know. Next pitch, swing and a miss, 97 mile per hour in the top of the zone. Good pitch. 1-1 is the count. Yeah, I know about Christian Walker winning a Gold Glove, but he's struggling this year. He's not Gold Glove material this year. He's not even in the upper 50% of first basemen. Fouled off. 98 mile per hour fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Clark. Runners on the corners with 1 out. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Denzel Clark. Here's the pitch from Abreu. Oh, there we go. 98, half swing. Strikeout number 2 for Abreu. How do you like that? That's what I'm talking about. Crank up that fastball. Put it in the top of the zone. Look at that. Boom. Perfect. 98 mile per hour fastball and a half swing. There's nothing Clark can do with that. That's why I want Abreu to be a little more confident with his fastball. He's got an arm. He doesn't have to worry about putting it in there. Lawrence Butler comes to the plate with 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. Slider down and in for ball 1. One and 0. Abreu's pitch on the way. Swing and bounced foul down the first base line on that slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shut this down right here. Make them eat it. And then go into the top of the 9th. And the Astros score some winning runs. How about that? Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's hit just a tapper to Pena. Pena goes to first. No problem. Out number 3. Did you see Butler slam his helmet down? This is the guy that was celebrating earlier, okay? Lawrence Butler was celebrating earlier. And take a look at this. I hope we can see it again after he gets thrown out. Oh, you didn't see it. There we go. Abreu gets out of it. There we go. Pena with a nice play. 2 strikeouts for Abreu. He had runners on the corners with no outs. Came back with 2 strikeouts and a tap out on Lawrence Butler. Lawrence Butler got so upset after he was thrown out at first base that he took off his helmet and slammed it on the ground. This is the guy that was celebrating like crazy whenever he got his home run earlier off Colton Gordon. Forget you. You can eat it. These showboating guys, they wear their emotions on their sleeves. When things go their way, they go crazy. And whenever things don't go their way, they also go crazy. They have no control. Absolutely hysterical. All right. Casey says all the Astros are ringing the register in Oakland this entire season. Yeah. Jay says the game is pretty wild. Yes, this is a pretty wild game, isn't it? Casey also adds the A's just want it to be over. Butler thought he had it cruising, right? He thought he had this game won. He was like, oh yeah, I got my home run, baby, and we're up by 3. And then suddenly Victor Caratini comes up and says, hold my beer. I can one-up you. I can tie it up in the bottom of the 8th, or the top of the 8th. It's the top of the 9th now. This game is 4-4. 10 hits for the A's, 7 for the Stros. But right now, the Astros are back in it because of that guy right there, the Batman, Victor Caratini. Right now, we got Jeremy Pena at the plate, the top of the Astros batting order. Strike one. Slider is in there, taken for a strike. Mason Miller is still in the game for the A's. Here's the next pitch. That's ripped to left field, all the way out to left. And he's going to misplay it. Pena's going to turn and go to second base. Could be a double. Easily standing up. Lead-off double for Jeremy Pena. A rocket to left field and misplayed by the left fielder. Beautiful. 87 slider right in the middle. Just jumped up on swinging strikes. Tyler swinging strike couldn't bring it in. Oh, I forgot to change the pitcher's name on the screen there. Mason Miller, baby. Let's keep lighting him up. Here comes Isactobal Paredes. Takes that first pitch 100 miles an hour on the outside edge for strike one. Runner in scoring position. 49 people listening in right now and 49 likes on the channel. One away from 50. Good job, guys. Thank you so much. Here's the next pitch. Low and outside. Ball one. The count is even. Tap your heels, everyone. We need the Stros to score in the ninth. Absolutely. Let's do it. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Paredes. Swing and miss. 89, almost in the dirt. Woof. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Batman needs an AI character. I do have a character for him. I can show it on the screen in just a minute. Paredes steps out of the box for a break right quick. Where is my Batman image? I do have a Batman image. Batman. Where is my Batman image? Where is my Batman image? Where is my Batman image? It's somewhere. I'll have to come back to it. Next pitch is a ball. 2-2 to Paredes. Next pitch is hit high in the air. Looks like it's going to be played by the second baseman. He makes a strange catch, but puts Paredes away for out number 1. Pena on second base with the 1 away. I might not have downloaded my Batman picture into my folder, so I might have to go looking it up. Altuve comes to the plate, guys. Altuve doesn't have a hit yet tonight, but right now would be a good time to get it. Too far inside, ball 1, good take. One and 0 is the count to Jose Altuve, my hero. 101 miles an hour right in the middle of the plate, taken for strike 1. It's not going to take much, Altuve. And you've got the ability to do it. It doesn't matter if this guy throws 105 miles an hour. Altuve can hit it. Here comes the 1-1 from Miller. Whoa, way up and in. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jay Paul says that was a Ryan Presley inning. Yeah, it felt like it, didn't it? Except they didn't score. Presley probably would have given up at least 1 run. Maybe a solo homer. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. That's hit way up in the air. Second baseman is underneath it. Out number 2. 2 fly balls to the second baseman by Paredes and Altuve. That's unfortunate. 2 outs. Got to bring him around, guys. We can't leave him on, but now that we have 2 outs, there's a chance. No chance with no outs, or 1 out, or 2 outs. But with no chance with no outs or 1 out. But with 2 outs, we have a chance. That's right. Diaz is at the plate. A little low for ball 1. How about an opposite field hit from Diaz? Off this pitcher, it seems highly likely. Highly likely. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That is hit into the air. But that's, look at that. 3 straight fly balls to the second baseman. Can you believe that, guys? I was right about the opposite field thing, but not about it being into the outfield. So the Astros get nothing in the top of the 9th. They give the A's another opportunity to walk it off. Remember, if you guys remember, the Astros walked off the Twins 2 games in a row to end that series. And then in Game 1 versus the A's, they got walked off. Can you imagine us getting walked off again to end the series? No. No. Can't accept that. I cannot accept that. Now I'm going to go try to find my Caratini Batman picture. Where is it? I know I've got it here somewhere. Just got to find it. Where is it? Maybe I won't be able to find it in time, but I'm going to look for it. I've made so many images. I have to go back quite a ways, I think, to get the Caratini Batman image. I have a really funny image of him standing outside of the Daikin Park. It's just a hilarious looking image. I love it. It's really nice. But I had it on my mobile phone, not on the computer. So I have to look it up and download it right quick for you guys. But it'll be worth it. Once you see it, you'll see why it's worth the effort to get it. Still looking. Still looking. Getting there. Closer. Closer. Almost there, I think. I'm very close. Josh Hader is on the mound now for the Astros. I can change that right quick. Hader. There we go. Hader's first opportunity to pitch in this series against the A's. Second pitch is hooked down the line, foul. Man, that was a rip. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jacob Wilson. Ah, here it is. I just found it, finally. Put it in the images folder. There we go. Okay, back to the game. Here's the 1-1 pitch from... Nope. There's a little bit of a delay while Wilson was adjusting himself. Now here's the next pitch. A little fly ball into right center. Should be playable for Smith. It is. All right. Wilson is put away by Cam. 1-0. Well, 1-0. 1 out. 1 away. 54 likes now on the live stream. 75 viewers now, guys. Thank you so much for the viewers. I appreciate you being here. We are in the bottom of the 9th right now. This game is tied 4-4 down to the wire. Make sure you like the live stream, and if you like the Astros, subscribe and get me to 500. Here's the next pitch. First one from Hader to Rooker. Outside, ball 1. 1-0. A frustrating game, Sergio, or exciting? Here's the next pitch from Hader. Fouled back. 96-mile-per-hour sinker, and that evens the count. 1-1. Where is that image? There it is. Okay, guys, I got something to show you on the screen. That was fouled back. 1-2 is the count now. I'll put it on the screen in just a second. Here's the next pitch. A little high and inside. Ball 2. The count is 2-2. There we go. Check out the screen if you can. That's my Victor Caratini Batman image. It took me a while to find it, but I finally got it. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Josh Hader gets the strike on the 2-2 slider. 81 miles an hour in the bottom of the zone. Heck yes. That one started in the zone and dropped in. He couldn't handle it. Good toss. 2 away. Come on, Hader. You're the man. Here's the pitch. Right in there for strike 1. I forgot to show this on the screen. Tommy likey, Tommy wants swingy. For those of you who know that movie, he says Tommy want wingy, but I say Tommy wants swingy. Here's the next pitch. Ooh, low and outside, barely on that corner, but called a ball by the ump. 1-1. A's got a guy warming up in the bullpen. Here comes the 1-1. Hit high in the air. Should be out number 3. Who's got it? Pena has it. Nice. 1, 2, 3 for Mr. Josh Hader. Serving up the Haderade. We're going to go into the top of the 10th, guys. All right. But I want to share that picture of Caratini again. I want to show you guys that picture of Caratini that I whipped up with the AI. It is the Batman. I'll show it to you right here. There it is. I love it. It's very funny because I was trying to get the AI to create this logo or create this image of Victor Caratini as the Batman, where it's like an Astros Batman style uniform kind of fused together, and it kept refusing to do it. It said, I can't really do that because of the branding of the character Batman. It's a trademark. You know, I can't do that. And I said, oh, okay, well, that's fine. And then later, I wanted to have an image of the outside of Dykeen Park. Now, you can see that the spelling on the screen isn't quite accurate. It always messes up the text. But for some reason, it just decided to drop in a Victor Caratini as Batman in the image. So it was mixing together my previous request with my new request, and I wound up with this image. So I love it. I think it's great. It's just one of those accidental things that happens, and it's like, that's cool. So now I have a really nice Victor Caratini as Batman image standing in front of Dykeen Park. I love it. I love it. Old Dog says, nice channel stats. What is the subscriber count? I'm trying to get to 500, guys, before the end of the year. Just need 15. Just 15 more to get to 500. 15 more subs, guys. We have 10 days. 10 or 11 days? Well, for me, it's 10. For you guys, maybe it's 11 days, because in Japan, I have one less day remaining than you guys do. I'm 1 day ahead of you. So it's the 20th right now for me. Michael Kelly is on the mound for the A's facing Cam Smith. First pitch on the way. Little high for ball 1. Cooper Hummel is on second base. He'll be the Astros runner here in the 10th inning. 1-0 pitch from Kelly on the way. In just a moment. Here it is. Way outside, ball 2. That's what I like to see. Michael Kelly. There we go. Whoops. I forgot to take the preview off. My bad. Left that up there way too long. Here comes the next pitch to Smith. 2-0. That's in the zone. Fouled off. Good swing at that one. A Swiffer. Came right into the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. We got our, I guess you could say, complimentary runner on second base. I'm out of coffee. Don't know why I'm holding my cup. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. 96 right in the zone, fouled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cam. 68 people following along. Thanks for coming in here at the end of the game. We are in extra innings in the top of the 10th. No outs, runner on second. 2-2 pitch to Cam Smith is on the way from Kelly. A little outside, full count. The fastball, 97 miles an hour, missing. About 3 inches out. Oh yeah, the Astros, second best record in the MLB, or is it in the AL? 4-0 in extra innings. Ground ball on the left side could be trouble. Nope, he's got it. Third baseman holds him up. Shortstop moves over to third, keeps Hummel from advancing. Barely able to get him. Cam does not advance the runner. Out number 1. Sergio says, I'm tired of the late games, but I'm needing some extra innings heroics. I agree. For me, it's in the middle of the day. It's fine, but I understand for you it's really late. High and inside to Christian Walker. Walker is 1 for 3 today. He does have a single, and he has walked. 1-0 is the current count. For the sake of Sergio, get a big hit, Walker. Do it for Sergio. That's in the dirt, ball 2. Now, I don't have anything bad to say about Walker other than facts, but I will say this, and I've said this many times. Walker typically doesn't chase the ball too much. He does strike out a lot, but he's swinging at pitches that are pretty much around the zone. Check swing there, ball 3, low and outside, good take, 3-0. I don't have a problem with him. He doesn't have a problem like going for crazy pitches way out of the zone. He's not a chaser so much, but he swings and misses a lot of pitches right in the zone. Wow, that was a beautiful pitch. Swiffer started off going straight at him, came back in for strike 1. He takes that one. It's 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch to Walker. Low and outside, ball 4. Christian Walker with the second walk. Walker with the walker. Walker with the walker. That brings up Mr. Baseball. He's got 2 guys on base. Myers not having a bad game. 2 for 3. One out, runners on first and second. Here comes the first pitch to Myers. Jake the Rake, high and inside. Tried to get that Swiffer in there, but he missed. One and 0 for the Astros. That's the end of the top of the 10th. A's with another opportunity to walk it off. You know, I kind of feel like the term walk-off should only apply to the 9th inning. I think that it shouldn't apply after that. I think that if you're able to win in the 9th inning, that's the regulation time, right? The basic regulation time. If from the 1st to the 9th, you have 9 innings of basic baseball. You have 9 innings to score the runs that you're going to score. And when the home team comes up in the 9th inning and they do what they're going to do, if they wind up with more runs, then they get the walk-off and they win. That's great. But beyond the 9th inning, I feel like it's not really fair to call it a walk-off. And I don't know if you guys see it the way I do, but I kind of feel like if the home team is able to score a run in the 10th, the 11th, or the 15th inning or whatever, and they manage to finally win the game, it's like a very weak walk-off. Does that make sense to you? That's kind of the way I feel about it. I understand people say, but it's a walk-off because they're the last team with the chance, and then they score the run, so they walk it off. Yeah, but if you really think about it, if the visiting team scores a run to break the tie, and then the home team comes up and they don't get a run, so they lose. You know, I feel like it's same. You know, if one of those teams, it doesn't matter if it's the home team or the visiting team, it doesn't matter. If somebody scores a run in the 9th inning or the 10th inning or the 11th inning and the other team doesn't, and the other team wins, right? It's same. So the idea of walk-off itself is a little flawed. They're showing the Caratini home run again. All right, Hader is still on the mound for the Stros. Runner is on second base. He tries to bunt, and that was fouled off big time. That was a violent foul off. There's the Batman. Got to show the Batman. Here's the next pitch from Hader. Too far inside. Muncy not showing bunt anymore. 1 ball, 1 strike from Hader. Sergio says I feel like it's a 13 or 15 inning kind of night. It might be, who knows. Here's the pitch. Gets by him, runner goes to third, wild pitch. Or did he hit him? No, it didn't hit him. Wild pitch by Josh Hader. Yeah, that almost hit the batter. But that landed before the plate. Wild pitch, runner goes to third, no outs. It's not going to take much for the A's to get a run here, so Hader's going to have to really watch it. Here's a pitch. Fouled off, 96 in the top of the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see if he's got another round of Haterade or if he's running dry. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to turn on my lamp up here. No wonder it seems a little dark. That's better. Been playing in the dark this whole time. Come on, Stros, show me the light. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's the right field, just barely foul. That missed being the winning hit right there, just by inches. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count remains. Doesn't look good, says Ernesto, unless he gets some strikeouts. You're right about that. If Hader can start blowing it by him, then maybe we have a chance. At least 2 strikeouts, then a ground out or a fly out. Strike 3, there's a strikeout, just like you said, Ernesto. Well, that's what we need, right? Strikeout number 1 for Hader and out number 1. Muncy goes down. Nick Kurtz comes to the plate, facing Josh Hader. There's the pitch. Hits this one high and out of play on the third base side. Strike number 1. Nick Kurtz batting lefty. Runner on third with 1 out here in the bottom of the 10th. Lefty on lefty right now. Mateo says Cam Smith no hits tonight. Makes no sense. Yeah, he's had opportunities. Check swing, did he go? No. 97 miles an hour just above the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. I've had way too much coffee. No more coffee for me right now. Next pitch in the dirt. Outside. The slider kept on sliding. 2 balls and 1 strike. 82 people. Holy cow, we're getting close to 100 views. Make sure you like the live stream. That's a huge difference in likes to viewers. This is hit hard to center field. That might be gone. It's all the way out to center field. Yep, it's over the fence. That's a 2-run shot. So Nick Kurtz, who walked it off in game 1 against the Astros, walks it off again against Josh Hader in the 10th inning. With the A's. The A's get lucky with a 2-run shot and win 6-4 in 10 innings. Let's go take a look at the Astros results here. We're going to take a look at the game recap for those of you who are interested in hearing it. Let's take a look. Yep, there we go. Nick Kurtz, home run, walks it off. That's unfortunate. Let's go down here and take a look at the scoring summary. In the second inning, in the bottom of the second, McIver homered to center field, 1-0 A's. Butler homered to right center right after that. 2 solo home runs in the second inning off of Gordon. 2-0 A's early on. And the top of the fifth, Astros finally got on the board when Pena grounded out, scoring Myers 2-1. Astros were down by 1. McIver grounded into a fielder's choice in the bottom of the sixth, scoring Muncy because of a throwing error by Altuve. But I still think that he would have scored anyway because that throw would have been too late, but whatever. 3-1 A's. In the bottom of the seventh, Wilson homered another solo home run. There were 3 solo home runs by the A's in this game and 4 home runs in total. 5 of the A's 6 runs came from homers. In the top of the 8th, Caratini, the Batman, hit a 3-run shot to tie it up and give the Astros another chance. 4-4. But in the bottom of the 10th, Hader had a wild pitch, but that didn't matter anyway because he gave up a 2-run shot to direct center field to Kurtz, losing the game 6-4. Can't win them all, but at least the Mariners lost. I think the Mariners lost, right? So that's good. Astros slipped back into 3rd place in the American League, but we're still right there with the Stankies, so no big deal. If you look at the pitching results, I'm not upset with Gordon today. The relievers let us down. Okert gave up 1. Hader gave up 1. But, you know, without these 2 runs here, the Astros would have won this game, right? Without the relievers giving up these runs. But, you know, it happens. You know, the relievers can't be great all the time. The Astros pitching has been stellar for quite a while now, not giving up more than 4 runs in a game for quite a while. Today's game giving up 6, that breaks their record. They were tied with the 2022 Astros, I believe, with most games in a row not giving up more than 4 runs. So, you know, it's like I said earlier, every dog has his day, and you can't be great all the time. This is a game of competition, and whoever wins today isn't guaranteed to win tomorrow. But the Astros will be back on the field tomorrow playing the Angels, which is supposed to be another soft series, so we can't afford to be losing to the Angels, right? We have to buckle down and win against the Angels. Tomorrow's game is Hunter Brown versus Yusei Kikuchi. You guys remember him, don't you? This is kind of a nostalgic game. I'm really looking forward to seeing this game. Kikuchi is 2-6. ERA doesn't look too bad. But when you start looking at the hits, he's been giving up quite a bit of hits. He's given up more homers. A lot more walks, and far less Ks. Hunter Brown outperforming pretty much everybody in the MLB, but far outperforming Kikuchi. So tomorrow we should have a win. Should. Let's see if the Astros have a nice break tonight. Let's see if they get some good rest tonight and come back swinging tomorrow. But we will be here for the game tomorrow. I'll see you for that game. For me, I don't know if you can see it on the screen. Let me move it down so you can see it. Right here in the middle of the screen, right there. This game starts at 10:38 for me tomorrow morning, so it's no problem. I'll be here. I will be here. And Sergio says, yeah, can't win them all. Unfortunately, we're now half a game behind New York. That's right. No big deal. Series split with the A's. Terrible. I agree, Ernesto. I was expecting a series sweep, but, you know, it's baseball. That's why I always say it's baseball. You can't be guaranteed. Mark says, thanks for the chat stream. Thank you for being here. Guys, remember my 500 goal for the month? Just a few more. Ernesto says, do you stream most of the games? My goal is to stream every game, Ernesto. So I'm here every single day. If for some reason I'm not here, it's either because there's a technical problem, or I've got some kind of really important emergency to take care of, or because I'm dead. Those are going to be the only reasons why I won't be here. I broadcast from the countryside in Hiroshima, Japan, and I live here alone. I'm on a kind of a medical visa, so I can be underneath my doctor's care. And I don't have, not only do I not have any work right now, but I'm not allowed to work. The visa that I have allows me to be in Japan and to have my residency here and to live here, but it does not allow me to work. I'm only here for medical treatment. So luckily I have a house. It's a very old house. If you guys are interested, you can look at my other YouTube channel and you can see. Let me see if I can open that up. I can probably put that link in here. Why can't I type? If you guys are interested in seeing that, I can share that channel with you, and you can see where I live and what I'm doing to renovate this house here in Hiroshima. If you're interested in that, feel free to come over. That was my main channel for a while. It still kind of is my main channel, only because of audience size and the importance of my life. But right now, my main channel is this one, because this is the one that I focus on every single day. I've been doing this every single day. You can see my desktop is a picture from a story that I'm writing. Let's see here. Anything else in the live chat? Sergio says the Astros will play the Angels. Yep, at 8:38 Central Time. That's right. Ernesto says he should have pitched versus the Tigers in the wild card game last season. Ha! Yeah, Sergio, thank you. Caesar says, I remember he was with the Stros. Hopefully we can come up with a nickname for Kikuchi like North Korea. Yeah, we'll think about that. We'll think about that. Sergio says, best news of the day, it was only Monopoly money. Good for you. No real betting involved, right? No real betting. We got up to 63 likes. That's phenomenal, guys, considering what happened in the game. We didn't get to 70, which was the big record. Yesterday, I think the live stream totally got to 73, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for that. I do want to check one more thing before we go, and that is the... Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. There it is. I want to see the subscribers for today. How many subscribers do we have on the channel right now? How many short of 500? Just so I can give you guys some love. So let's go over here. 489. Holy cow, are you kidding me? We're only 11 away from 500. You guys are moving that up a lot faster than I thought you were going to. Thank you so much. If you see it on the screen right here, right up here, 489 subscribers. Freaking awesome. Just 11 away from hitting 500, and that's because of you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's just moving on up. We're getting more and more people pouring in. Thank you for being here. Live stream play-by-play of all the Astros games. That's what I do here. If you're interested in that, please subscribe. Make sure you like, leave comments, just be polite. I don't accept rude people. That's my only rule here. You can have any opinion you want as long as you know how to be respectful to everybody else. But I guess that's all for today. And anything else in the chat? Eat the food time. Eat the food, Tina. Oh, Jay says eat the food, Tina. Is that what's up on the screen right now? Or that? Oh, that's an old message, I think. That's it. Yep, Sergio, you got it. Good night, everyone. The only thing left for me to say right now is Geaux Stros, and let's look forward to the A's series starting tomorrow. I will see you guys there. I hope to have you come back and join in. Let your friends know if they're interested in the Astros live play-by-play to help support the channel. And that's it for now. Thank you for being here. Tough loss, but it happens. No big deal. Still some good things to come out of the game. Gordon didn't have a bad game. Caratini had a nice game. We had a couple of other players with a nice game. So there's some good stuff to take away from it. See you tomorrow.